we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start March 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This is your home for Royals baseball.
Pasquantino smacks it deep to right field. His second home run of the game. And a swing and a fly ball. Well hit. Deep right. That ball is gone. A 3-run homer. A bat flip from MJ Melendez. Witt dives, smothers it on the grass to his feet. Thrown to first. Oh, he got him. What a play. Bobby Witt Jr. He is spectacular.
This is 96.5. The Fan. You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Yeah! God, I'm excited. Golf season officially begins today for your boy, and no one cares. What a day. 67 degrees is the high. Mac, if you want to care, you don't have to care. But I can tell you something informative here. Tonight, you'll get to see 7 planets.
I think I saw 7 last night in the sky. It was beautiful last night, man.
You'll be able to see Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, Venus, Mercury, Saturn, and you guessed it, Uranus.
I like it. I like it. Can you see Earth on that that
No,
list?
Earth is a lot like your face.
Yeah,
You've only seen
never see
reflections of it and pictures.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
right.
flat.
And it is very much so, yeah, right. The other thing
Joking.
about Earth is that you mentioned your face. Like, that's the only thing that you can never see yourself correctly, right? Like,
Yeah, you've never seen your face with your own eyes.
That's right, exactly.
What is in this coffee?
Yeah, what is going on today? But I went outside. Beautiful
Herbal
day
brew.
yesterday, right? The dog is out all night long, all day long, and running around, having a good time. And man, the stars last night were unbelievable. I was just telling you before the show started, the Stargazer app that I have on my phone is the best app on my phone. Of course, next to the Odyssey app. But I would suggest for the next couple of nights you download this Night Sky app. I think you have it on your phone, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it basically is you just point it at the sky and it just comes to life on your phone and it tells you exactly what you're looking at. And I think last night I was looking at Venus, and I'm like, God, I mean, it is just such a clear night right now, and you can see everything up there. So the only thing we're not going to see is Pluto and Earth. I mean, and every other planet's going to be visible tomorrow night. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, every night but Wednesday night.
But Wednesday night.
The meteorologist I saw said most of them you will be able to see without a telescope. Obviously, if you live out like in Lone Jack, if you're Neil, or if you live like in the heart of Grain Valley or Oak Grove and there's no city lights, you can see everything. Or, if you want, you can, take the lady up to like a hilltop somewhere, and be like, all right, because I've done that once. It was by myself, but there was I think there was either a meteor.
So you didn't take a lady up there?
No, I'm saying I thought about it when I was there by myself.
But you were there by yourself.
Oh, that'd be really cool if you were with the lady here.
I mean, that's kind of creepy to roll to a makeout joint by yourself,
I don't know
right?
I didn't even know the place existed. I just was at the time with my parents while I was transitioning from a apartment to a house, and there was this little dark road that went up. It was on this road's called Snyabar Road. It
of course.
Cuts Grain Valley into 50 Highway. And so I went up on this hilltop road. I'm had binoculars, so hopefully I didn't get pulled over. And so I go all the way to the top, and I'm like, there's nobody here. This is a lookout point. You can see everything. And I looked up, and it was just I don't know. It was one of those like Disney World, places where it's like, this is what space looks like. And you're like, I mean, it was literally pitch black and you could see everything.
It's so different when you just get like 5 minutes outside the city and the lights are out and it's clear and there's nothing in the way. Like drive 20 minutes south, east, west, or north.
It's wild.
And look up, man, and you will see everything. But the next, I'm not a stargazer or anything like that or a scientist, but man, I just love looking at the stars. And it's been so clear and the planets are awesome. And it's just been great. So if you get the opportunity to do that over the next couple of nights, do that. Night Sky is the app. Night Sky is the app. It's free, and you just point it at the sky. It tells you exactly what you're looking at.
Yeah, it even gives you like the horizon line.
Oh, it's so cool, man. It is awesome. So get yourself that app and have some fun over the next couple of nights because it is beautiful.
So how much of the KU game did you watch last night?
None. Yeah. I didn't know.
Tip-off was 7, or when they started showing it on TV, I just happened to be, because I'll leave my TV on like a timer before I'll go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And 10:17, I believe, is when coverage started.
10:17. That's right. Yeah, no chance. Did they win last night? I don't know. Did they win? Okay, good.
They also have a guy on their team named Harrison Carrington.
Oh, really?
Colorado does.
Oh, Colorado.
Harrison Carrington.
Harrison Carrington. That is really unbelievable,
He's a sophomore from Menlo Park, California, 6'7", 207 pounds, number 31, number 1 in your heart.
Harrison Carrington? Yeah. Harrison Carrington.
Harrison
Carrington. That's
white
funny.
Guy.
Because Billy Coons always used to call him Carrington Harris. I always loved that Carrington Harris. But
so great.
Harrison Carrington is. Did he perform last night? How did he do?
I don't know. I have to check it out. He's a sophomore, so I can only imagine.
You don't start games. See, that's again a problem with college basketball. I don't know if you saw this story about Cooper Flagg and the head coach at the University of Illinois talking about he needs to stay in college for another year and chase girls. I mean, it's a great story, right? And this guy, Brad Underwood, who used to coach at K-State for a hot minute, right now he's the Illinois head coach, and he played Duke the other day. They got their ass handed to him and whatnot. And
Duke's been doing that to a lot of people.
Right? Yeah. So Brad Underwood, they're 17-11 right now, is Illinois, and he said this after the game. He goes, I hope he stays in school. I mean, if the NCAA or the ACC, if I'm the NCAA or ACC, I'm figuring out an NIL deal to keep that dude in school because he's everything that's right about our game. Somebody threw out a story about it. I hope he stays. Man, he'd be great. He could probably make more here than he could in the NBA. He's also got really good people around him, and that helps. He continued. He goes, he's 18. He's just an 18-year-old kid. Go have fun. Chase a girl. I mean, enjoy the opportunity, Underwood explained. And there's nothing wrong with anything that he says.
I was going to say, I'm trying to figure out the flaw in what he said.
No, nothing. Yeah. That's what I'm getting at is like, that's what college basketball needs to get back to, right? Guys like that people can identify with that are playing at a normal time that aren't tipping off at 10:17 at night, which is 11:17 on the East Coast. Look, 10:17 Central.
Yeah.
That's still 9:17 in Colorado.
Yeah.
That's not early out there either.
Yeah, and they gave you it was because they had, I think it was Houston and Texas Tech was on, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of that?
No, I was watching Monmouth take on Northeastern yesterday on CBS Sports Network. Hawks were cooking yesterday. They won, baby. They won at the end.
Patty was there. The haircut is real.
The haircut is real. Yep. Looks good on the bench. People were all in their feelings about that, about Patrick Mahomes being shown on the broadcast last night. Oh, my God. I came across a story this morning and all the tweets of people bitching about Patrick Mahomes. Stop showing Patrick Mahomes. Show this, show that. Stop showing Patrick. I mean, tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet.
They showed him like 3 times.
That was enough for the people to lose their mind, yes.
They gave him an introduction at his school. Mm-hmm. By the way, random question. Do you have to graduate to be considered your alma mater?
Depends on what state you're in, because at the University of Texas, I learned when I lived down there for a year and 10 months, whatever it was.
It's a long time.
It was. Anybody who went to the University of Texas, and I think Texas A&M did this at the time. So if you enrolled and took one class,
that's your alma mater.
You were considered a Texas X. Okay? They didn't call them alumni or anything. They considered them Texas X's. And I go, okay.
So that's why George Strait wrote that song.
All my exes live in Texas. Oh, I never even thought of it about that. But they're all called Texas X's. Texas. I think Texas A&M may do it. So basically, what they're doing is saying, well, you went here for a year, you went here for a class, you're considered quote unquote their version of an alumni. Write us a check. You know, that's essentially what that is. It's a scam to get you to write checks because universities are just trying to rip people off all the time. I was talking about it with somebody yesterday about their kid getting ready to go to college and the cost of just going to KU as an in-state student. What a ripoff it's become. income to spend this kind of money for college education. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
Back to back.
Back to back. I mean, yeah, right, exactly.
Get a full ride, kids.
Yeah.
Get all the scholarships you could possibly. You have to duct tape your face.
Right.
Like,
Do whatever you have to do to get the scholarship money. But
we got 2 classes, Dad.
Yeah.
I got paid for it.
Exactly. Fine.
Freshman year.
Yeah, go for it. Take JUCO classes. It's ridiculous. College education's and the money that people have to pay for this kind of stuff, it's a scam. It really is. It's an absolute thievery that these universities get away with charging the money that they do for this higher education. What a scam. But so that's what it is. So I don't know if Texas Tech is the same way to bring this back full scale. If Texas Tech is the full thing where they go Texas Tech X's, because in that case, obviously Mahomes would.
I was just wondering if like an alma mater necessarily, like if you have to be a graduate. Like I don't know. I'm assuming he either will or has. I just don't know about it. Not that it's important. I was just wondering about the definition of alma mater because, like, of course, like. I don't know. ML football just like annoys me, and it says trending. Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes is in good spirits only a couple of weeks after losing the Super Bowl. Of course.
What did you want him to do? Sit inside a hut and ayahuasca it up? Oh wait, that was Aaron Rodgers.
Tonight he received a major ovation as alma mater Texas Tech basketball.
Why wouldn't he? He went to Texas Tech.
I understand. It was like the alma mater part. I'm like, is he?
Yeah.
Like, does that? I mean, it doesn't matter.
I guess you went there. It's, I guess, semantics. He's still going to write, the check, I'm sure, and he's done a lot of things for Texas Tech.
Well, didn't they put his emblem on the field, or was that AI that did that?
I didn't see that.
I thought they put the Patty Mahomes on the Texas Tech football field.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. I did see a great AI of Travis Kelce saying he's engaged already, and the wedding's going to be private, and Swifties don't need to show up to it. It was so good. Like Jen showed this to me last night. She goes, "Is this real?" I go, "Well, it's put out by the real AI on Twitter, so I can't imagine." But it was unbelievably close.
What do you think would shock? What do you think would shock the world more? Kelce announces retirement, or they announce engagement?
You talking world? The engagement.
United States.
United States. The engagement. The only people that the retirement would shock would probably be us in Kansas City, right? Everybody else, thank God, move on, get rid of them. Goodbye. But the engagement, oh my God, the engagement be the lead story on every morning show, non-sports related, like the Today Show and all those other things that are on TV. Food Network may even lead with it. Who the hell knows? If you're catering the Swift-Kelce wedding, what are you going to have?
I want Costa Vida to cater my wedding.
Random restaurants that you want catering your wedding.
It's basically like, I don't know, it's not as like enterprise as Chipotle.
Right, yeah.
I mean, could you just imagine, like, you got all night just on heaters. You got rice, guac, beans, meat, salsa, cheese. You hammered Hank over there making tacos till 11:30.
Yeah.
Although they kick you out pretty early in wedding things. They're like, you got till 11, then everybody gets out.
Get the hell out of here. You bring in pizzas
time.
At the end and then feed everybody, which is a baller move if you do that at the end of your wedding, right? You bring in food for everybody at the end because everybody's tanked. But
you order like 15 pizzas.
Yeah, and you just have them show up. People
and
love you for it.
Tell the pizza place that you're doing this for a wedding reception, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we'll give you like a discount."
Yeah, they will absolutely. They'll take care of you.
They will.
Yeah.
I've been there. Like,
yeah, it's awesome.
I was like, "Man, I'm starving. I'm hammered. What do we do?" I'm like, "Dude, order a pizza. Tell me it's for your wedding." They're like, "All right." It's like $350 order. You got it for like $190.
Yeah.
I was like, just tip the delivery driver.
Right. So I was at a wedding one time. They brought burgers in at the end. It was like great. I'm like, all right, this is kind of the way to do it.
Can you imagine that house at your wedding, and all of a sudden someone's like, "Dude, you want this Whopper with cheese?" Absolutely.
Yeah. It was yes. Give me all of the Whoppers and cheese.
Oh, for sure. Coming up on the other side, the greatness of Brett Veach and how Binkley is involved. I have no idea how those two names.
Oh, this was a conversation with Binkley I had yesterday.
You'll get to it next here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
I just want to say how awesome it is to have Bob Fescoe and Legend Likens on every morning to start my day. I freaking love you guys.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Generally, we hear talk about medicine and effective treatments for erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues. Today, I want to just talk to you about love, because love is the best reason to get treated for your ED. The one you love is the light of your life, and if you're like most men, you want to do whatever you can to nurture that relationship. But if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction, you know the impacts the condition is likely having on you and your partner. Remember the first time you failed to perform in the bedroom? You probably just laughed it off. It wasn't a big deal, but then it It happened a second time, a third time, or more, and now it's become a problem. Heartland Men's Health has treatments that work when the pills or herbals fail, and they have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more, and Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men right here in KC. So schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today, and your initial visit is just $99. It includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have an expert staff on hand, and if you're like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations: Overland Park, Independence between Blue Springs and Lee Summit, in North Kansas City. So call them today, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service, real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers, and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey.
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Are you a chronic interrupter? Incapable of letting other people talk? Do those people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have a 120-night sleep trial, so you can get your money back if a bed's not right. That way, anyone, even someone like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. And good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with TrueHold. Sell and stay lease back program. It's a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all the equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Metro Ford online at kcmetroford.com. Missouri side, 49 northbound, no delays from Belton up to 470, and 71 northbound moves well from the Grandview Triangle into downtown. Metro Ford off Noland Road in Independence is your Ford F-150 headquarters. Right now, get over $13,000 in savings on select new XLT Ford F-150s. When's the last time you saw deals like that? These trucks are moving fast, so hurry to Metro Ford online at kcmetroford.com. See dealer for details. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
What happens first? Kelsey and Swift announce engagement, or we know where the stadiums will be?
Oh, the stadiums.
No way.
Yeah, because I think that's coming sooner rather than later. I think we'll know the stadiums by the time we go to St. Joe for both teams.
Way to set the city on fire yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care. It's funny to watch people go back and forth on Twitter and me just kind of ignore the whole thing.
I did have a fun 5 minutes after the garage, reading the comments. One of them was, "You really think Mahomes and Andy Reid will be here in 2031?" I was like, do you realize that's 5 years from now? Mahomes will be 33, 34, and Andy Reid will probably be in his last year coaching. So, yeah, they'll still be here.
I think they're trying to time the stadium to make sure that, they capitalize on what's going on right now. I mean, so that's why time is of the essence in all of this. But when
Peyton did play a few years at Lucas Oil.
He did. Yeah, he did. And he played a few years at Empower Field at Mile High with no head, but, he played. He was there. It'll be interesting. No, I think the stadium absolutely gets resolved before we know about Taylor and Travis. But who knows? I mean, Taylor and Travis may announce something sooner rather than later, too. He could play that whole year last year knowing that he's engaged and the whole world knowing that they're engaged. Or they just wait and, don't tell anybody and they just end up getting married, which is kind of what I would do, right?
Too hard to do that.
Is it?
I think they're too big of celebrities to where you can't. Because,
are they the biggest celebrity power couple on earth right now? It has to be, right?
As of right now, yes.
Bigger than J-Lo?
Oh, J-Lo's so 2000 and late.
She's married to
J-Lo and who?
J-Lo and Glenn Hoffman. I don't know.
No, they got divorced again for a second time.
But I was talking to my wife. Ben Affleck has been with two J-Los. There's been two Benefers in his life.
Jennifer
Garner, that woman who schleps the credit card on TV, that farmer lady. He was. I guess he dated her. I didn't know he dated the farmer lady. And
Jennifer Garner can eat crackers in my bed.
So he had that Benefer, and then he had another Benefer.
Whatever.
That's crazy, right?
He left the wrong one twice.
So what were we talking about?
Travis and Taylor.
Getting
speaking
engaged,
of weddings.
Stadiums. So the state, you said I lit the city on fire, whatever it was yesterday. I opened my Twitter, almost Andy Reid is fighting with people. I mean, that's where I put it away. I'm like, all right, he's getting involved right now.
I also saw one that was for those of you in Jackson County that voted no on this, F you, middle finger emoji. I was like, well.
I mean, that's what it was. I mean, people are acting like Jackson County didn't have a chance to keep this thing. They did. They said no, and so now it's open for business. It's pretty simple. It's not that hard to figure out.
Somebody that I went through says Jay-Z, Beyonce. I don't know. That's probably the next closest one, if not on the same playing field.
But more people know who Jay-Z is than Travis, right? Or
A$AP
not
Rocky and Rihanna. Kansas City.
Yeah.
Mac's having some issues today. He's got some bad guts.
Oh, is he?
Somebody on the text line said, Church's Chicken catered my wedding. 250 pieces of chicken, 100 biscuits, $175.
Is that enough food?
And then he said his grandmother made the sides. I mean, 250 pieces of chicken.
For 100 biscuits for $175?
Sign me up.
That's living large, man. That's a hell of a deal.
And then to the credibility of the text line, the logo of Patrick Mahomes was on the field, and then I knew they were on the uniforms. I just didn't know if they were on the field.
Oh, so it's like the Jumpman thing.
Yeah, except it's Patty. So anyways, you had a conversation with Binkley about Brett Veach and the draft and everything?
Well, I had a conversation about Binkley yesterday because I was driving around and I was thinking about this quarterback situation. All of them suck. Let's call it what it is. I mean, there's not a quarterback in this draft that's worth drafting, right? And I saw a story from Mel Kiper yesterday, and he was talking about Shedeur Sanders, and he's like, a lot of teams aren't looking for Shedeur Sanders. He's probably going to go 15-30 now, is what Mel Kiper said.
What?
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. 15-30. Mel Kiper said that's the style of quarterback where he should be picked.
That's
is
hilarious.
15-30, right? I don't think Shedeur Sanders is going to be a good NFL quarterback. I don't know enough about Cam Ward.
But he's not going to go 15-30.
But he should. That's the problem. This is why general managers get fired all the time, right? Because they make these stupid picks at quarterback, like Josh Rosen and whatnot, right? There's some bad selections at quarterback. Just because the internet says and his name is Shedeur Sanders doesn't mean you should draft him if you don't think he's going to be good. You can't feel that peer pressure that's out there, which is, it is. People talk about quarterbacks all the time. The peer pressure's out there. Fan bases get enraged. You got to get a quarterback, and then you draft the guy that sucks, right? I don't know enough about Cam Ward. I did see a mock draft where the Giants trade up to 1 to get Cam Ward. I don't know if that's worth it or not. So anyway, I asked Binkley, I said, when was the last time you remember a draft not having a legit quarterback? Immediately. How long it took him to respond?
10 seconds.
If that. 2022. And I said, oh, okay, 2022. Okay, all right. So I kind of look back at that draft where I think Desmond Ridder, maybe?
Is that the Justin Jefferson draft? No, he was 2020.
I don't remember. No, it wasn't Justin Jefferson.
No, because he was like the COVID year. Because like Jamar Chase waited a year to come out of into the draft, so it would have been like Jefferson would have been like 2019.
Yeah, so like Trayvon Walker was the number 1 pick that year, okay, and then Aiden Hutchinson went number 2, and then Derek Stingley Jr. went number 3. Ahmad Gardner, which is now known as Sauce, he went 4. Kayvon Thibodeau went 5 to the Giants, and the Giants came back at 7 and took Evan Neal. Those are your 2 top 10 picks. You wonder why you stink. Drake London.
Thibodeau's a good pick.
Garrett Wilson.
Offensive player of the year that year.
Yeah.
These quarterbacks are terrible.
I mean, look at the quarterbacks in this draft, right? Like Kenny Pickett was the top quarterback taken in that draft. So that's kind of where we are on this same type of level of there's just not a lot of good quarterbacks. Also, too, look at that first round. How many of those players are really legit first-round players in that 2022 NFL draft, right?
Hutchinson, Thibodeau, they were in there.
Kayvon Thibodeau is not good.
Okay.
He is not good.
He's not that good.
He is not good.
For that draft stock, especially.
5 overall, he's a bust. There's no question.
Yeah.
He's an absolute bust. Probably. Yeah, probably in that standpoint. Like, I don't care that he takes on 2 defenders, like, make plays, right? Garrett Wilson's a nice player in that draft. You take him, right? And he's on the trade market right now.
I'd take him, yeah.
Would you take Chris Olave right now?
I think so.
Chris Olave, 11th overall to the Saints.
Out of Ohio State.
It's a little high.
It's a little high. Jamison Williams, running back, nice player. Can't stay on the field. And you continue to work your way down this list, and then all of a sudden you start to realize, like, this is a crap draft, yet we got Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis out of this draft.
Yeah, like
2 like
20s and
21 was Trent McDuffie and 30 was George Karlaftis. Listen to the players taken between Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis in this draft. Quay Walker from Georgia goes after Trent McDuffie.
Clay Walker, the country music star.
Yep.
I can make a living out of loving you.
Elam goes to Buffalo.
Jason.
Tyler Smith goes to
That's not a real person.
Dallas.
Never heard of him.
Tyler Lindenbaum goes to Baltimore. Jermaine Johnson II goes to the Jets. Devin Lloyd, you get where I'm going. There's nobody picked between Karlaftis and McDuffie that's even worth discussing and having a conversation about. That 2022 draft was so bad in the first round, and we got Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis out of that draft. Like, if that just doesn't tell you how freaking unbelievable Brett Veach is at drafting, and we're getting ready to go, obviously, into the draft. The Combine is taking place in Indianapolis this week, if you haven't heard. You start thinking about it. Brett Veach led a masterclass in that 2022 draft. Other than like Aiden Hutchinson and Garrett Wilson, Brett Veach hit a freaking home run. And he wouldn't have the opportunity to draft them. They were picked way ahead. That 2022 draft is hot garbage, and we got 2 cornerstone stars out of that. Trent McDuffie, one of the best, if not the best, lockdown corners in the NFL right now. And George Karlaftis, basically the sack leader in the postseason for the Kansas City Chiefs. Unbelievable to me, man. Tip of the cap to Brett Veach. And that's why you go into these drafts and you think, oh, my God, I don't know what they're going to do. Trust this gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Trust this gentleman. He took the only 2 really great players after the first 5 and turned them into unbelievable performers here in Kansas City. It's wild to me.
I mean, I don't know where this team would be without those 2 guys. Certainly not back-to-back Super Bowl champions, close to that three-peat. I mean, those 2 have been essential to where, and it's that whole 22 draft, and I'm sure you know that, Bob, but I mean, it's like 5 or 6 starters. I mean, every pick was a guy who got Joshua Williams, Watson, all these guys coming in huge for the Chiefs, and Veach just does it, whether it's the 4th round, last pick of the 1st round, trade down, trade up, no matter what position. He seems to find the talent. They're going to need that again this season.
Well, yeah, they are. They're going to need a good draft this year. There's no question. But, like, based on this, why wouldn't you think they're going to have a good draft, right? Like that's where you kind of need to be mindset-wise. In a draft where there was hardly anybody worthwhile of picking in the first round, Brett Veach not only selected a guy, he selected 2 stars. 2 every down players, 2 big-time players for your organization. And the rest of that first round, it's outside of Aiden Hutchinson and maybe Garrett Wilson, maybe Chris Olave, man, there was nobody else, and we got 2 stars out of that draft. That just tells me everything you need to know. And then it goes back to the coaching, too. You got Andy Reid, the coaching staff, these guys up, the veteran leadership. Like, it's all just such a well-oiled machine right now. So that's why I was talking to Binkley about that, because I was like, there's no quarterbacks in this draft. Do not feel peer pressure to draft Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward because people are telling you to on the internet, you know?
And now Jackson Dart, too. There's peer pressure there, too. They're all,
That's right. A lot of Jackson Dart peer pressure coming up right now because you need a quarterback in this league. But you know what you don't need? You don't need to waste a draft pick on a bad quarterback. Just because there's a quarterback there that Mel Kiper says should go number 1 or Todd McShay or whoever says should go number 1 doesn't mean they should go number 1. Be convicted about who you're going to pick in these drafts and just take the best available player, and you'll eventually get to where you need to go with your roster, man. Two teams are going to draft quarterbacks, and they're going to be back at the drawing board in 3 years.
Do you think there's something to be said about maybe a pro to drafting late in the first round, because all of the overthinking and the galaxy braining has already happened, and now it's like, okay, I'm going to take best players available. All you guys made your mistakes. Here's George. Here's Trent McDuffie. Don't know how they fell to me, but I love them. Here they are.
Yeah, I think there's a lot less pressure, right? You have one of those top 10, 15 picks, and you're a quarterback-lacking team. You better pick that right quarterback. Yes. You better pick that guy that the fans are going to cheer for on draft night.
Or if you're the Jags and you just suck, and you're like, oh, we need this pass rusher, and then you pick the wrong one.
Right.
Aiden Hutchinson was the guy. We all thought it. They galaxy brained themselves. Walker sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I think the more impressive thing about Brett Veach is that he drafts for a situational problem that he immediately fixes. You didn't have any sort of pressure to get towards quarterbacks because that's why Joe Burrow was able to carve you up in that second half. You couldn't sack Joe Burrow. You drafted George Karlaftis, and you immediately got a guy that could allow pressure. I'm not saying that George Karlaftis is the world's greatest defensive end, but he gives you something.
You can rely on that guy every down.
And then McDuffie, you know that you're going to be going against good quarterbacks in the AFC. Burrow, Allen, Lamar, those type of guys. Herbert, they're good quarterbacks in the AFC. Probably the better ones are on that side of the fence. And you need somebody that's going to be able to lock down those wide receivers those quarterbacks throw to. You don't want to get beat by Jamar Chase. You don't want to get beat at the time by Stephon Diggs or anybody else that's on those teams that nowadays Zay Flowers. Mm-hmm. And if you have a guy like Trent McDuffie, which you have also at the time, you had a guy like Jerry Sneed that you knew was going to get a huge contract. So then you move on, and that's the way it goes. And again, look, he's not going to nail it every pick, but when you have nailed it more often than not, you can take these people that are like, well, what about Felix and Kingsley?
You want to point out two guys that he failed on instead of the list of guys that he hit on? I mean, come on.
I think Brian Cook is okay. I don't think he's great, but I think he's okay. I think that Karlaftis has been good. I think Leo Chenal's been good. I think that McDuffie's been fantastic. I think that Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, you look at guys like that.
Yes. Trey Smith in the 6th round is going to get a bag this offseason. Bolton's been a great pick.
Great pick.
You got Creed Humphrey as well in drafts. You got a lot of these players that are – and let's give Felix a little bit of time. You cannot sit here and say, yeah, it wasn't as great. It was a bad pick. But you can also say that his name got brought up a lot more often than you thought maybe this past year.
This year, I thought he found his role this year. And he may find an even bigger role if Charles Omenihu isn't coming back next season, right? I mean,
and it's year 3. It's like, hey, man, this is where you either make it or you're broke in the NFL.
Right.
Either you're going to be on this team or you're not going to be on anybody's team.
Because I think it's after year 3, they have to tell you if they're picking up that 5th-year option, right?
So.
Right? Yeah. So you'll know after this season where they are with Felix Enudike-Uzomah. But I think you give the kid an opportunity. He came into a situation, didn't need to really play last year. I thought played a lot this year. I heard his name a lot this year. I don't know what the expectation level is. If the expectation is double-digit sacks, that's a fallacy. That's a bad expectation to have because there's not many guys that get double-digit sacks in the NFL on a yearly basis anymore. It's very, very hard to do. I think maybe 10, guys will get you double-digit sacks in the NFL on a yearly basis. It's just a very unrealistic number. And so my goals are, does this team have what it takes to win a Super Bowl every year? And if they're in the Super Bowl and they're contending for a Super Bowl every year, the draft picks are just fine. If you're complaining about Kingsley, I mean...
now it's Sky Moore too. So that's another one.
Okay, go find a different hobby then. Maybe the Chiefs aren't the team that you need to be rooting for. Pick up the Browns.
Also, Kingsley barely played it all this season. They're going to move him to guard, and he could end up being a great
He may
guard.
end up being a great guard.
Great guard for this team.
He may just slide into where Trey Smith is leaving.
Isaiah Pacheco didn't play enough this year for a 7th-round pick.
Yeah, exactly.
Guy broke his leg.
Right? He didn't play enough. It's
okay.
a bust. Yeah, it's a bust. Yeah.
Did that come in on the text line?
No, I'm just starting. I'm just going to start leaning into it.
All right. I'm going to say, like seriously though, if you're waking up in the morning and you're mad about Sky Moore and Kingsley Suamataia, go back to bed.
Yeah. I mean, or
go root for the Browns.
Yeah. But it is funny to look at the quarterbacks going into the draft. I thought, maybe I'm wrong, Is Dylan Raiola just not that great?
Well, he's only a freshman,
he
right?
can't
Can't come out.
But I mean, again, like they were showing all the top. We're going up the top.
Oh, you're talking about
quarterbacks
next year.
season.
Next season.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Is
Going
he
in.
allowed to come out next season?
I don't know. He's 15th on the guy's ranking. 15th as a sophomore.
Interesting.
That's why I'm asking. Hello,
Yeah, I thought Dylan was good.
McFly.
Yeah.
If he didn't look like Mahomes, would anybody know who he is?
Yeah, he's a high recruit. He's a 5-star recruit.
I know.
Out of high
I know
school.
more about Dylan Raiola than I do. What's this kid's name?
That is Dylan Raiola.
Oh yeah, what's the father's name?
His father's name. Damn it.
No, it's his uncle, Dominic Raiola.
Yes.
I remember him playing at Nebraska. Or I think it was Nebraska.
Nebraska,
yeah.
and had a second on the Chiefs, or am I wrong about that?
Oh, I don't know. I
Okay,
don't
I'll have to
remember
look
that.
that
You have to look that up. I don't know, but this whole Dylan Raiola thing, like if he didn't look like Mahomes, I wouldn't know who he was. Good job out of him marketing himself.
Yeah. So we got a notification on Twitter from Welcome to the Bobby, or I don't know, something experience. And it says, whoever had 250 pieces of chicken from Church's Chickens for $175, I know it wasn't a black wedding. I would have had minimum 750 pieces for $525. Holla. I don't know what I'd get catered at my wedding. But I was just wondering, because we were looking at this guy's list of the top quarterbacks of 2025. And obviously Arch Manning's at the top.
26.
Oh, yeah, 2026.
Yeah. Which is weird. My 26 top 10 college football. We're going into 2020.
Well, he's talking about the draft.
The draft.
The draft
Okay.
for next season. Yes, extremely early. Yeah.
Yeah, and they had Raiola at 15.
I just see 10. I don't even see
Well,
15.
Oh, the reply. Does he go?
No, if you click on his name.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And then scroll
That
down
was like
barely.
15.
It says a lot of people are asking me who was next on my list, so here you go.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if you go to that, number 11 is DJ Lagway, John Mateer. I don't know who that is. Avery Johnson at 13 from K-State.
The basketball
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Making a comeback.
Luke Altmaier at 14, then Dylan Raiola at 15, and then Jalen Daniels at 16th out of KU.
Out of KU, huh?
Avery Johnson a little low too. I feel like. I really
And again,
like
that's
him.
just his opinion.
Yeah, of course.
But the big story is there's nobody again coming out next year from a quarterback standpoint. I mean, that's why if you're the Giants or you're Tennessee or whoever, give up your first round pick to the Rams for Matthew Stafford. I saw a trade proposal that Pittsburgh was going to give up their second and third. Again, just a fake proposal. Second and third for Matthew Stafford. I'd do that in a heartbeat if I was Pittsburgh. But if I'm the Giants, I'm saying I'll give you number 3 overall right now for Matthew Stafford. That's what they need. There's nobody at number 3 that's going to make the Giants better than what Matthew Stafford is going to make them.
So they need a 35-year-old quarterback. They're going to pay $40 million.
They don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, but I would say go find Sam Darnold or a name of that ilk that you can pay $20 to $30 million.
You can't do that when you have a team that has everything on the line and coaching wise. This is hey, we want this guy. We gave him a chance. He has to get it right. Because if he fails,
Brian Daboll.
Yes, he's gone.
Yeah, so is the general manager. The whole thing,
which means the whole thing turns on its ass.
Well, they don't
and
need to win
restart.
the Super Bowl.
No, but they need to be relevant.
They need to be relevant. They need to be.
They can't go 4-12.
No, they can do that with Sam Darnold and build up this roster. Paying Matthew, a 36-year-old quarterback, $40 to $50 million a year is not going to help you.
Yeah, Matthew wants way too much money.
He wants way too much money.
I'm starting to kind of lose a little bit of belief that Matthew Stafford is who I thought he was.
Who did you think he was?
I thought he was just a guy that loved the game,
Football.
that played. I thought he was a football guy.
Gotcha.
And he wants $40 million at 36.
50 bucks.
Too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same here.
And this is why. And this is what's weird to me. It's
last chance to cash in.
But he's already made $340 million.
Yeah, talk to anybody, man. It's just they just want
But
more,
let
more,
me
more.
have a conversation real quick out loud, okay?
Yeah.
Please. I thought Matthew Stafford at this point in his career was you know what? I just want to ride it out, collect my checks, and go. Not want I want Patrick Mahomes money. I've already won a Super Bowl. I'm already a Hall of Famer. I live in LA. I kind of just think Matthew Stafford might be a bag. In all honesty. What else are you playing for? Why you made $300+ million and you want top near money at 36?
Yeah, I don't have no problem. You go try to get whatever you can get and then see where the chips fall. If you don't ask for that kind of money, you'll never get it. And there are desperate teams in the NFL that will pay it. The Giants are a desperate team. They may be the most desperate team in the NFL right now. I mean, they're an embarrassment as a franchise,
That's
right?
fair.
They are, and their coach is hanging on by a thread. Their GM's hanging on by a thread. Quite frankly, ownership's hanging on by a thread in New York right now. You're starting to get fan revolts. People are flying planes. They're not selling tickets. You got to move the needle in New York. Sam Darnold does not move the needle for Giant fans. I can promise you that. He played for the Jets and saw ghosts. You're never going to get past that. The Giants need to go out and be bold. And there's nobody that they can, unless Carter from Penn State falls, there's nobody that they can get at number 3 that is going to make that team better than what Matthew Stafford can make that team. And do you have to pay a premium for a quarterback? You're right. When you have failed as much as they have at quarterback, the bill eventually comes due. You're effed. So now you got to go out there and spend the money. You got to go out there and overpay, and you got to pay a premium to fix that position, because until they fix that position, none of it matters, and they're not going to win.
It's a great text. It says, if Kirk Cousins is getting $40 million off Achilles, I'm Stafford, I'm asking for 60.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's fair.
Yeah, and what did you say? He's 35 years old. What did Brady play till he's 40? Manning close to 40. I mean, these guys now can play a long, long time. And so if you're the Giants, it's desperation mode. And desperation mode, what happens when desperation? You throw money at stuff to fix the problem.
37.
So
you play to your 40. Give him a 3-year deal. You play to your 40, and then you try to draft somebody.
Did Peyton really play till he was 40, or was like 38 and a half?
Well, are you talking about his head, or are you talking about his body, or altogether? Because that last year was not.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that whole year and a half, like after the season before it was over, it was like he came out in like training camp and didn't throw the ball. His shoulder was wrecked, and he was getting paid a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, whatever. You know what? Go to the
Has
Raiders.
Matthew Stafford had any injuries right now?
Right now, he was hurt 2 years ago.
But he's pretty healthy.
But he had the Tommy John.
Yeah.
Because him and Clayton Kershaw are like best friends.
I heard that. Yeah, Tony Gonzalez played basketball.
And Clayton Kershaw told him not to get the surgery. He said that he shouldn't get the surgery. So Matthew Stafford either didn't or like did it a different way. Like he did it where like you don't get the baseball sort of surgery for Tommy John. He did some sort of like physical training for it. And then that's why like last year when he started to come back towards the end, it was starting to click.
Yeah.
Because his arm was back to being better. So.
Yeah, whatever. But still, it's better than what you have, because right now you have nothing on your roster at the quarterback position. So I mean, it sucks, but that's that's why you got to be like Brett Veach and draft the right guy and hit a home run with your quarterback.
So 0% chance of convincing you on Cam Ward. We got a month, so maybe in a month.
I don't know enough about Cam Ward right
that's
now.
my guy.
Yeah, why? Tell me why.
Well,
tell me why.
Let's wait. Coming up on the other side, we'll get into the hot corner. Maybe, Bob and Mac can have a conversation about Cam Ward. You're listening to 95 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Fescoe and Dusty.
913-586-7965. Call in right now and tell me how much I suck.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, the snow has melted, and I can see my lawn. And I'll tell you what, I want the snow back, because I don't like the way my lawn looks. But in a couple of months, I'm going to love the way it looks, because Aspen Lawn and Pest Control is going to come out, and they're going to take care of my lawn. I've played the gardener for the weekend for the last couple of years, and it's just not working anymore. I'm done trying to figure out ways to get this grass to grow in my front yard. Taking trees down, roots underneath, it's been just a pain. And so I'm going to trust the experts at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. They went to college for this stuff. They got degrees in having the ability to take care of your lawn. They know exactly what they're doing. And you see those iconic blue trucks, they're out there everywhere, right? And I'll tell you what, they're always in front of the nicest lawns in town. At Aspen Lawn and Pest Control, they have award-winning services, and they've been doing it since 1985, offering full-service lawn care, irrigation, pest control, and right now, if you mention you heard it right here on 96.5 The Fan, they're going to give you a free estimate plus up to half off your first application just by mentioning you heard it here on the station. They're the best in Kansas City. So don't wait. Call today or just visit aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Folks, it's time to rev up your engines and get ready for a wild ride for Ford Truck Month. And who better to bring you all the excitement than my favorite Ford dealer in Kansas City, Rob Seid of Rob Seid Ford in South Kansas City. Hey, Rob, what's going on?
Hey, Kevin. There are a lot of F-150s out there, but you're not going to find a better deal than Rob Seid Ford's $15,500 off brand new F-150s. That's right, $15,500 off. These savings only happen during Truck Month at Rob Seid Ford, so now is not the time to wait.
Rob Site Ford is on fire.
Best price and best inventory at Rob Site Ford. So many F-150s in stock. Don't wait because they won't last long. Biggest savings, best trade-in offers, all part of the Kevin Harlan VIP experience at Rob Site Ford.
And I appreciate that. Like I've said before, Bobby, nothing compares to the quality and the professionalism at Rob Site Ford.
Rob Site Ford, 135th and State Line, ROBSIGHT.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey.
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Are you a chronic interrupter? Incapable of letting other people talk? Do those people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should go to Mattress Firm. They have a 120-night sleep trial so you can get your money back if a bed's not right. That way anyone, even someone like you, can sleep. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
We got a big game tonight in the NBA, so listen up. FanDuel is giving all customers, every single one, a 50% same-game parlay profit boost on tonight's matchup. The Mavericks and the Lakers are meeting for the first time since the blockbuster trade that shocked the NBA a few weeks ago. How is Luka Doncic going to play? How is he going to be perceived by the crowd? Perhaps consider an all-Luka same-game parlay. Maybe he gets a triple-double in this game, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. You can mix and match it with players from either team for an even bigger payout. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/KFNZ to get your same game profit boost for tonight's Mavs and Lakers game. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt-in required. Minimum 3-leg parlay required. Bonus issue with novel drawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement. Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by the technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Missouri side, 71 northbound, starting to slow roll from 87th up towards Gregory. Money back guarantees and parts and labor warranties mean you aren't just buying products, you are securing your investment. For a limited time, receive a free furnace when you purchase an AC. Schedule your complimentary proposal online at anthonyphc.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
From the 785. You suck, Dusty. I don't know if they're referring to actually I do suck or the fact that like the liner that is 913-586-7965. Call me up and tell me how much I
yeah,
suck.
that's right. It could be both.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Both.
Yeah, it is both. We don't see that commercial anymore.
No, thank God.
Was that just a baseball season commercial? Or did they kind of spill into football season? You know what I didn't see any of? And I know you guys, I have no idea what the Super Bowl commercials were to this day.
Yeah, no idea.
I'm guessing the one with Seal and Sprite is probably a Super Bowl commercial. But other than that, I have no idea what the Super Bowl commercials were.
Right, and the Jimmy Johnson's the only one I remember.
That was the only one they showed in the stadium, though. You know?
Did you miss them?
No.
Yeah, me either.
No, I haven't missed them since the Chiefs have been in it, all the time.
What's
the Super Bowl
funny
commercials were for when they weren't in it.
What's funny is you could probably you probably saw 75% of them already.
And you don't even know it, is what I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying before the game.
Oh, there is that.
Because the whole Super Bowl surprise factor is gone.
Yeah.
Now you can just go to the internet and you can see them all. So I mean, it's it doesn't really do it for you anymore.
No, it does.
And everybody hates the halftime show, no matter who it is.
No matter who it is,
it's always hated.
Oh, no matter who it is, every other feel like if you're not a fan of CCR or something like that, everybody complains about that. If you weren't a fan of Kendrick Lamar, people complained about that. Like it's just it's if I'm doing the halftime show and if I'm asked to do the halftime show, I'm like, why? All people do is complain about it. No matter what we do, they complain.
Well, they do it because they're either getting ready to go on tour or getting ready to drop an album, and it's like free publicity.
It is, yeah. But the NFL does not pay people to do that. You have to invest your own money. Millions get invested into that halftime show, too.
Nuts.
Yeah, because you don't get paid. That's crazy. Hot Corner is on a Tuesday. We used to do Tough Tuesdays during the football season. During the baseball season, Hot Corner. So same concept, different language, different season. So, Bob, who is in your hot corner on this Tuesday?
Well, this wasn't a gentleman who I knew until yesterday, and his name is Craig Smith. Do you know who Craig Smith happens to be? Because this guy is on the hot corner right now. He was the Utah basketball coach. They fired him yesterday with 4 games to go in the season. This guy beat Kansas. Usually when you beat Kansas, that gives you a 2-year stay, right? That doesn't hold weight anymore. This guy's 7-9 in the Big 12 and like 4 games above 500. And Utah's like, you're done. You're out. We're moving on. So that guy yesterday getting fired basically on the eve of March Madness getting ready to start. Utah probably not an NCAA tournament team, obviously, but they're moving on from that guy. And the interesting part of the story is Utah has the lowest NIL in the Big 12, and their big rival BYU just paid a cat $7 million to go there and play college basketball. And so if you're going to be firing coaches in college sports and you're a university that isn't providing them with the NIL that's proper to compete at these levels, that sucks for that coach, man. Like, now you're beholden to your alumni to donate enough money so you can go out and recruit players and be on the same level playing field. And if they don't donate money, you don't get good players, you lose your job. Another great NIL kind of fallout, if you will.
Which kind of has a similarity to pro sports, right? If the owner isn't willing to spend money, it's like, sorry,
true.
you're getting fired.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Ask every Royals manager who worked for David Glass other than Ned.
Mac, you got a hot corner?
Well, I just thought we'd do some generic stories here. KU, hot corner. Yesterday, rankings came out, not ranked for the first time in 1,400-plus days.
That
They're
seems
not
like a lot,
25.
but it really isn't. I mean, it's
What
like
is that,
3 years, 4 years, you know.
right.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive still in
Still
college
insane.
basketball.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing.
To be honest, that is a very impressive number.
So, Bob, you wrote, I thought it was a good question. What's something that was shocking to hear for the first time in a long sports-wise?
Chiefs not being Super Bowl champs, right?
Yeah,
over like 1,000 days.
Insane.
But think about that. Everybody's saying, for the first time in 1,400 days, KU isn't ranked. The Chiefs, for the first time in like 1,000 days, haven't been Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, much more impressive. Super Bowl champs?
Yeah, but I mean, that's biased because,
well, I'm very biased. That's
yeah,
fair.
I mean, they don't play for 6 months.
Yeah, but
so and then you play for an entire year, and you have to wait for someone to actually win.
Yeah, but same with college basketball. There's all that time. I think it's more impressive to be Super Bowl champs for like 1,000 straight days than it is to be ranked in college basketball.
It is a very impressive number. I'm not denying that, but I mean, to think that it's like more. I don't know.
I think it is because you are one of 25 in college basketball to be ranked. Right? There's 25 teams that are part of the ranking. There's only one Super Bowl champion. To me, it's no question.
And then I guess all the people that are deciding to go to this are having a hot corner, tough Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. Fyre Fest is coming back. I don't know if you guys have watched this documentary.
Oh, it's the best documentary
It's the best
out
thing
there.
ever.
Yeah.
Triangle cheese sandwich and a teepee.
Oh my God! And what people were doing for bottled water, like
it was one guy.
It's true, one dude. I couldn't remember that guy's name, but yeah, that one guy,
water guy.
Forgot about that. Yikes!
If you are putting money out to buy a ticket to this, you're an idiot.
Billy McFarland, baby. Ja Rule.
If you don't know Firefest, this was a festival that epically failed, 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
Had to be. I mean, it was...
What was it, the Bahamas or something? It was a
some
destination
island,
festival.
And they were going to perform and have concerts and all this stuff, and they flew people down there, and there's no lodging, there's no concerts, there's no food, and there's no way to get off the island.
And all the pictures they saw were these resort lodges with these amazing amenities, and it's going to be this incredible experience. We spent all this money, and now we're stranded on this island. No one's here, and it's a crazy documentary. But they're bringing it back. Same guy,
Billy Mack.
That guy went to jail and got out of jail as fast as anybody I've ever seen. Like,
and
that guy went to jail immediately.
Same thing immediately when he got out of jail.
That's right.
Scam people on tickets.
Right.
Again.
And people are going to pay money to go to this thing. Like seriously, you got to screw loose if you're putting money down to go to Fire Festival. How soon before this is canceled?
Seriously. Packages start at $1,400. They go up to over $1 million.
Well, the last one went so well. Where do I sign up?
Exactly. It's crazy.
I would say that my impressive thing, and I know I'm going to get a bunch of eye rolls, especially from the two gentlemen in this room. Tiger Woods making 142 consecutive cuts on the PGA Tour. To
That's
me
impressive.
Is like
No eye roll at all.
That to me is the most impressive sports stat of my life.
How many years does that
98 to
encompass?
2005. He made every cut that he
I
tried
mean,
out for.
that's unbelievable. Yeah,
That is, to me, the most impressive sports stat of my lifetime. My grandfather had Joe DiMaggio's hit streak. Like, some people have, whatever. Cal Ripken's streak is amazing to me.
Yeah, that'll never be broken.
No. But 142 consecutive cuts made on the PGA Tour from 98 to 05.
That's the record, right?
Yes.
What was number 2?
I mean, I have no idea. The streak began at Torrey Pines in 98, where Tiger Woods shot a 66 in the second round. He made the cut by 6 shots and went on to make every PGA Tour cut for the next 7+ seasons. And the streak ended in 05 at the Byron Nelson Championship.
They couldn't finagle the numbers to get him on the final weekend.
Yep. I mean, that's just insane. I mean, I don't know what number 2 is.
Well, it's when you go, oh, wait.
Yeah. But I mean, because you watch guys,
What happened in 05? Because that's before his wife beat his car with a golf club.
Maybe an injury. Maybe that's when the body started to shut down.
That was quick, though, Dusty.
Because then he came
7 years in.
Then he came back in 07. Yeah, but he was just so he was so much different. Like, he just changed the game completely. Like, from being old fat guys that played, to where all of a sudden it was like watching him swing the golf club. Like, it was crazy to watch because everybody was so mesmerized by it.
He made Phil get in shape.
Right. And then you hear people talk. Like, I remember, I think it was, what's his name? He's the Irish guy. I don't know.
Paddy McFarland? No, Patrick Harrington, right?
No. David Faraday.
Oh.
And he was talking about him, and he was just like, yeah, it's like a great swing, but eventually that body's going to give out. And then, one day, that left knee with all that pressure and all that torque, it was just like, ugh. I mean, you just can't do it. That's just what it is, man. You just come down so hard on that golf. I mean, I don't need to get into it, but I would say to finish this out, my hot corner is Amazon and James Bond. F you, Bezos. I get it. You're probably a James Bond fan. Now you have complete content control over the Broccoli family who had it all, and now Amazon's going to ruin James Bond's legacy.
Gosh.
It's happening. It's going to happen. They're going to do an origin story. They're going to do a series. They're going to do all this stupid blank, and it's just going to suck. It'll never be the same again. So enjoy it while it lasted, but it's over. James Bond, gone. Thank you, Amazon. That is my 2 cents on the hot corner. Coming back on the other side, we get into more Matthew Stafford and the teams that he's going to. I mean, good luck. This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
I'll tell you what, my friends over at Golden Oak Lending can help you reach your financial goals. You just got to tell them what your financial goals are, and that's what's so great about Golden Oak Lending. They listen to you. They're not trying to sell you a prepackaged mortgage or anything like that. You call Golden Oak Lending and take their free mortgage checkup like we've done over the years, and they ask you what are your financial goals, and you can tell them, well, I've got a wedding coming up, or I've got college tuition due, or I've got to pay this bill off, or I've got home repairs here that I'm working on. Golden Oak is going to help you reach those financial goals. So take that free mortgage checkup. It is risk-free. There's no paperwork or credit card required. You just call and have a conversation. And if they've got a mortgage that's better than what you're in right now, they'll let you know that. If they have a mortgage that isn't great right now for you because you're in a good spot, they'll let you know that as well. They're not going to put you in a mortgage that doesn't work better for you. And with Golden Oak Lending, the average cash-out customer saves $1,104 per month. And when you refinance with Golden Oak Lending, you'll go 2 months without having to make a mortgage payment. payment? How'd you like to go into May making your first mortgage payment? Take the next 2 months off. Call Golden Oak Lending today for that free mortgage checkup. 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD. And let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do? Like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking. And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299.
Want a golf course quality lawn? It's easier and more affordable than you think with TruGreen. As the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, TruGreen brings pro-level expertise straight to your yard so your lawn can look like a fairway. Right now, you can sign up and get one free application. Plus, with their price match guarantee, you know you're getting the best value. And if you're not satisfied, TruGreen will come back to make it right. Don't wait. Visit TruGreen.com today to get a free application and let the pros handle your lawn while you enjoy the results. Offer ends March 10th. Restrictions apply.
After you use Bounce Dryer sheets and realize how fresh, soft, less wrinkled, and less staticky your laundry can be, you'll put a sheet on it every time. Like those socks that smell like they've been through a marathon. Put a sheet on it. Or that blanket that's got wrinkles on its wrinkles. Put a sheet on it. Maybe even your chatty coworker who keeps distracting you. Okay, Bounce Dryer sheets can't do it all. But for fresher, softer, better laundry, put a sheet on it with Bounce.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by the National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic at the KC Convention Center, March 7th through 9th. Missouri side, 435 westbound, a bit sluggish from 103rd Street to the state line. Pheasants Forever National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic is coming to the Kansas City Convention Center this March 7th through 9. Join us for puppy and dog training seminars, a youth village for kids, and more than 400 unique exhibitors. More information at pheasantfest.org. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch all the shows from your phone, desktop, or tablet. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
And now this song will be stuck in your head the rest of the day.
It's a good one to have in your head.
Nirvana, she even likes Madonna. Welcome back into 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports here on Fescoe and Dusty with Mac as well. Dominoes, they get mentioned a lot in the Turnpike Troubadour songs. If you're not familiar, get on it. If not, no worries. But in sports as well, Matthew Stafford seems to be that domino that needs to fall before everything else can happen.
Is that the number one move that has to happen this offseason for anything else to take place in the NFL?
IMO. Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I'm thinking about it right now. Like, once Matthew Stafford makes his decision, then everybody else can kind of jockey of what they want to do, right?
Because Matthew Stafford has been the topic of this offseason, at least in my opinion. I know there are others, and we'll get into them because the tush push, people want to get it, banned, which it's not.
What a lame story that is.
It's the Packers.
Yes.
It's the Packers that are bitching about it, and they just keep tweeting, a sourced team says that they are dude,
It's Green Bay. Yeah,
Like,
stop, man.
We know who it is.
I guess I don't understand why we've gotten to this point in the NFL where if we can't stop something, we stop trying to stop it. We try to change rules. Like, that's peak 2025. Get out there and be better at it. Try to figure out a way to stop it. Go out there and do something different and eliminate that play on defense.
They
right?
made the playoffs easier for people to try to beat Patrick Mahomes.
That's what I'm saying. They changed
And then-
kickoffs.
And then what they didn't realize is that it's actually helping Patrick Mahomes. It's like when Tiger Woods won the Masters by a gazillion strokes, they then Tiger-proofed the Masters, and all these other guys are like, dude, it's already hard for us. Don't make it harder. He's just going to keep winning, as he did.
Yeah.
But no, Matthew Stafford, I think, is that first domino. Because I think if once Matthew Stafford goes, then we'll figure out where Aaron Rodgers goes, then we'll figure out where Russell Wilson goes, and we'll figure out everybody will start to kind of like set up. And then by the time all that's over, you'll have free agency and the draft, and then everybody will know what.
Guys, free agency begins in 2 weeks.
That's right. Woo! That's right.
Like 2 weeks from, I think 2 weeks from yesterday is when the legal tampering begins, and then 2 weeks from tomorrow is, when everybody technically signs. Like, I think March 12th is the first day of the league year, and that's Wednesday of 2 weeks, like 2 weeks from tomorrow. Yeah. Because they have the combine this week, and then we have the week off, and then we have the league year starting. I mean, it's crazy.
So Matthew Stafford's teams that we've seen so far of interest, not maybe him, but them, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Giants, Raiders. Woof.
Yeah, I mean, talk about like a bad grouping of teams, right?
And
Now,
then
Pittsburgh, I think, is good, obviously. They got a good coach, but the other three?
I mean, you're not going to Cleveland. The Giants, I mean, I could see them with it depends on what they have to give up for that. But
if the Giants are willing to offer up the third pick in the draft for Matthew Stafford and sign him to that $50 million deal, he's going to New York, right? I think if you're the Rams, let me ask you guys this, and I don't know how you would look at this, but if you're the Rams and you were offered the third pick overall for Matthew Stafford, or you were offered a second and third round pick overall, a second round pick this year and a third round pick next year, which move would you make if you're the Rams? I'm taking number 3 overall.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't want to pick this year in the second round and wait until the next year in the third round.
Right. And you don't need a quarterback, technically, if you're the Rams. You're getting rid of this guy. Obviously, you have Aaron Rodgers to backfill. And so you could literally draft anybody at number 3 overall.
My question that maybe I should have asked earlier, if they're going to trade Matthew Stafford, the Rams are, who's going to play quarterback?
Well, Aaron Rodgers is the hot rumor going to L.A. They like that pairing with him and Sean McVay, and I think it would be a great pairing because I do believe that it's one of the few coaches that Aaron Rodgers would have some respect for.
A guy that's like 10 years younger than he is?
Won a Super Bowl, has been fantastic, could retire and walk away right now, may go down as the greatest Rams coach ever. Not that there's a whole huge body of work for Rams coaches, but I think he's the guy that Aaron Rodgers would totally respond to and respect. I think he would do that with Pete Carroll as well. I don't know that there's many more right now.
Well, Matt LaFleur runs a lot of similar stuff.
He ain't going back to Green Bay.
Well, I'm saying, but to your Sean McVay point, runs a lot of similar stuff. He would like that offensive system there.
Yeah. And he's a California kid. Go home, finish out your last couple of years and do that. Cleveland's in a bad way. I don't know if you saw the story yesterday. Their GM is trying to convince Myles Garrett they're moving on from Deshaun Watson, but can't say it publicly, because of everything that's involved.
Everybody knows.
I know, but they're going overboard trying to convince Myles Garrett, hey, we're getting rid of this guy. Please stay. And Myles Garrett's like, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I believe when I see it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's why everybody was saying, because I believe the last game of the year, Baltimore was a 21-point favorite. And everyone's like, how is that spread that high? I mean, it's a division game. I get it. And Browns are beat up, and Baltimore's awesome, and they have to win. And they were saying that it was basically like a protest game by the players. We just don't care because you have this idiot as our quarterback.
Oh, really? I didn't see that story. That's a great story. I love it. I'm in.
And they were just because I was watching I think it was a pregame show of betting and stuff like that, fantasy on one of those weird 310 channels. And it was they were asking why is the spread 21? And they're like, well, here's why. There's an underlying story that says that basically Cleveland is letting ownership know as long as you're going to keep trotting this guy out here, we're not going to do it because he's just not an NFL quarterback. He's not quarterbacking the league. Get out of here. Go away.
And nobody wants this guy around.
Take your money
either,
and disappear. Go to Firefest.
Yeah, go dissipate in Firefest.
There's also some talk that the Vikings could be interested in Matthew Stafford as well. I saw that on the Herd yesterday. That's where
what really?
Yep. That's why I was like, did you steal it?
Me and Colin, man.
Didn't he fall for a fake tweet though about that yesterday or something?
No, it was
Or
something different.
Oh, it was okay.
That was NBA Sintel said that Dallas is not letting people in wearing Luka jerseys.
Yeah, he
said that. Yeah.
He's like, they're not letting anybody in Dallas wear Luka jerseys.
It's like, that's not true.
I mean,
J-Mac with the news. That guy sucks. Dude, J-Mac sucks.
Oh, that guy's terrible.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's like the bit, him sucking, right?
I don't think it's a bit, man.
I don't know.
No.
I know he's like an extreme New York guy, but like him and hating on, like, I don't know. Nick Wright calls him out all the time, and he works for the same network. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, because he's a New York guy. He's like prize on the success of other teams over Kansas City. And I'm like, all right, dude. Like, at least back something up. Yeah, he like prize on people to be better than the Chiefs. Like, he was happy when the Eagles won. Like, you're a New York guy and you're happy Philadelphia won.
Not one real New Yorker is ever happy when Philadelphia does something. It would be like us being happy if St. Louis did something.
It was like if you were happy that Peyton won a Super Bowl with Denver. I'm like, I don't give a rip.
No, who cares?
Yeah. And then there's Cam Ward. And you think Cam Ward could be the guy?
I think out of the quarterbacks that are in the first round, I think he is easily my favorite.
Well, I mean, that's not saying a lot, you know.
And I do really like him. I think he could be a franchise quarterback. I think he's got the skills to do it. I think he's easily the most physically gifted. Not a lot of big quarterbacks, by the way. The measurements are the only thing that from the...
How big are his hands?
Who cares? How big is Patrick Mahomes, right? Like
6'3", yeah. And they list Cam Ward at 6'2". People are saying he's probably 6'1", 6 foot. They list Shedeur Sanders at 6'1". He could be 5'11", 6 foot. So we'll see how the heights work out. But I think Cam Ward's fast. I think he's strong.
We saw Shedeur with the naked eye. Like, we saw him at Radio Row.
Yeah, you think he's 6'2"?
6'1".
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I thought, too.
I don't think he's not 5'11". I'm 5'11 and a half or
I
something.
also saw Travis Hunter. I thought he was a middle schooler.
Tiny.
I was like, this guy's small.
Tiny.
He's playing corner in the NFL, dude.
Yes. But yeah, I just think he's... to go along with the physical traits that I think he attains, he is by far the most confident. I think it was really telling. Maybe we could play the audio later, but him and Shedeur had a video come out. They were working together out on the field or whatever, but all of Shedeur's antics about, I play for Gatorade, all this stuff, and Cam Ward's like, football pays me. Like, all this stuff about being overly confident. You could read it as arrogance, which I think Shedeur leans that way, but I see in Cam Ward, I just see, like, I am that dude, and confidence. And it carries that way on the field, too.
Does Cam Ward get sacked a lot?
No, he's like mobile, and like he's kind of like, if you watched Miami football this last year, their defense was atrocious, and their games were always like 75 to 68, and Cam Ward was that guy that was just like running around, finding out, will like heave it down the field. He'd throw 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, but throw for like 497 yards.
Mahomes basically in college. I hate to use that comparison because I'm not saying he's the next Mahomes, but that's kind of what
just had this conversation yesterday. Listen to Matt Painter's audio. Stop comparing them to other athletes.
But now he's coming to the NFL, right? And so people are talking about being number one
if you don't
overall.
If you don't want to give him a player comp, he is a gunslinging, anxiety type watching quarterback now.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's your favorite in the draft. You said he doesn't get sacked a lot. The reason I asked, Shedeur Sanders gets sacked a lot.
He does.
You know? And I was just watching a clip from Howard Cosell on with our guy Ross Tucker on his podcast, and he said that
Howard Cosell,
guys who normally get sacked in college a lot get sacked in the NFL a lot. He called it the kind of the Caleb Williams effect, right? Caleb gets sacked a lot, and he was kind of comparing Shedeur Sanders to that guy. And so I look at that comparison. The sack thing bothers me. If you get sacked a lot in the college level, he says you're going to get sacked a lot in the pros. If you're a quarterback in the NFL, you can't be getting sacked a lot. Those just kill your team. That kills everything. Watch the body language in Chicago when Caleb Williams gets sacked. It kills everything, right? So I don't want a quarterback that gets sacked a lot in college because that's already who he is. So based on that alone, I guess Cam Ward will be up. I'll have to watch more, film or video, whatever plays, highlights, whatever you want to call them, of Cam Ward to kind of feel, kind of where I am. But somebody said the Giants could trade up to 1 to get Cam Ward.
Yeah, I would love that.
So who knows? We'll see how it all kind of unfolds. But that's the problem. There's not anybody out there that is a legitimate fixer right now for any team in the NFL.
Which is fun. The draft will start at 1. Usually the draft starts at like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
But the draft starting at number 1. We don't know who's going.
We don't know what Tennessee's going to do with that pick.
Yeah, if they're even going to pick.
If they're going to pick. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
There may be a big-time trade at the top of the draft on draft day.
Yeah, that night, yes.
And there's also going to be a quarterback you can go get out of Dallas named Trey Lance if you want to start a franchise.
Oh, my God. Dallas yesterday, the more that they talk, I mean, Stephen Jones yesterday, we're going to draft a mid-round. Why? Why waste a mid-round pick on a quarterback? That's why teams suck.
Well, you know.
And then he also said yesterday something about we're going to be very selective in free agency. Translation, you're not doing anything in free agency.
That's right. Coming back on the other side, we'll do a new thing where we play one word to describe what we talk about. One word, 913-586-7965. I'll give you a hint. The first thing we're going to talk about, one word, describe Jack Caglione. 913-586-7965. More to come on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
When you're caring for an elderly parent, selling their home can feel so overwhelming, but one local real estate agent, Dawn Sharp, and her team are helping to change that experience. Recently, Dawn helped a client who was caring for her elderly mother while trying to sell their family home. Dawn and her dedicated team transformed a stressful process into a seamless transition. The marketing and showcasing of the home's best features helped with the home being sold for top dollar. Dawn's team handled every detail with personal care. Let Dawn create a great experience for you. The Sharp Homes team can give you options. If you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold, you can do that. So contact them to discuss their instant offer program. In fact, contact the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home. It's Dawn Sharp with the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. And they're easy to find. You can Google Sharp Homes team and see from the over 200 5-star Google and Zillow reviews and see why in the last 12 months alone, Dawn and her team have sold over 150 homes. You can also visit them at homesforsaleinkc.com. That's homesforsaleinkc.com and start packing.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey. More like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Men, this is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. The one you love is the light of your life. And if you're like most of us, you want to do whatever you can to nurture your relationship. But if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction, you know the impacts the condition is likely having on you and your partner. ED is a relationship destroyer. It can contribute to depression, distancing, conflicts, and even breakups and divorce. And what's so disturbing about this is that most men who suffer with ED can be successfully treated, but a lot of guys don't seek treatment when they should. At Heartland Men's Health, we have protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases. In fact, if you're like most guys, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and maybe find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. So call Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
What does it feel like to file with TaxSlayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refunds belong to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax-confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
What would you do if you could go back in time with the tap of a button?
Watch the ancient Egyptians build the pyramids?
How'd they do it?
Buy enough Bitcoin to purchase your very own private island.
Or maybe just skip the joke that flopped at the holiday party.
Unfortunately, we haven't figured out how to rewind time. But you can rewind live shows with the free Odyssey app.
Never miss your favorite sports talk again. To get started, download Odyssey and search for your station.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Metro Ford online at kcmetroford.com. Missouri side, I-70 westbound, just a few slow spots as you make your way in from Noland over past the Blue Ridge cutoff, but past that, no delays into downtown. Metro Ford off Noland Road in Independence is your Ford F-150 headquarters. Right now, get over $13,000 in savings on select new XLT Ford F-150s. When's the last time you saw deals like that? These trucks are moving fast, so hurry to Metro Ford online at kcmetroford.com. See dealer for details. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Back here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports, Kansas City Royals, Kansas City Chiefs, K-State Athletics, all of the above. Royals are still undefeated in spring. 1-1 tie yesterday. Kevin Biggio, home run, only RBI. We do have a new thing that we want to try here during the baseball season. We call it one word. We'll bring a name up.
Bob Marley. One word.
I was jamming to him yesterday.
To Bob?
This weekend, yeah.
Which one?
Yesterday
better
or the
than
weekend?
breakfast or Brett Veachtown?
No, but the actual Marley.
Oh, he said Bob. I just assumed.
Do you know how Bob Marley died?
I do.
Yeah, brutal.
Brutal.
I don't think I know how Bob Marley
Really?
did. Yeah.
So Rastafarians, his religion, do not believe in any sort of anything done to
Oh,
the body.
that's right. Medical. Yeah, like he had.
And he was
yeah.
a soccer player his whole life. So he got toe cancer somehow developed through being a soccer player. I don't know how, whatever.
Right.
And of course, no surgery, no tattoos, no nothing, and just let
Done,
it go.
yeah.
And it got all the way to him and killed him.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's like dumb.
Yeah,
I'm
it really
sorry,
is. Yeah,
like-
it is dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
LeVar Ball cut his foot off.
Right.
Bob Marley could have cut his toe off. Would have had, by the way, No Woman, No Cry. Greatest Bob Marley song. One of the top 5 best guitar solos of all time, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. I'll have to listen to it again just for that.
Oh, yeah.
For the solo.
It's great. Cornmeal porridge. But no, one word. That's what we want to do here. So, and Jack Caglione. What is one word that comes to your mind, Mr. Fescoe, when it comes to Jack Caglione?
Exciting.
Okay. Mac?
I'd go future.
Ooh.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the future of this franchise could be on Jack.
Mine is massive.
I will disagree with you on that in a second.
Okay, I like it.
Okay.
I think my one word to describe Jack Caglione is massive because it's vague. That's the whole point of this. One word, it can be vague, right? Like somebody in the text line said, their one word is patience and then horny. So love that. But no, like I love the massive word. I love the future word. I love the patience word. I like all of that because you think of massive and you think of what he could be. He could be a massive addition to your lineup. He is a massive human being. Vern said yesterday that he swallowed his hand when he shook it. He goes, that's hardly ever happened to me if ever in my life. So I think that's all great.
Vern out here bragging like that, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how that's, I mean, or Vern has really small hands. What is he, Alex Smith? So, I mean, but like, you know, there is hope. And like there is that sort of thing. And somebody says, you know, position. Yeah, Vern said yesterday he's coming for Vinny Pasquantino's job or he's going to be a DH and then they'll sprinkle in if they need to see if he needs to, you know, experiment in the outfield. But that's the thing. A lot of people say Jack Caglione, one word, stud. One word, gorgeous. One word, hog. So, I mean, maybe that's an acronym, but I mean, there is that excitement for a player that we've yet to see take a, pitch in the major leagues on the major league show level. And I think they're all warranted to have those words.
And the cool thing about it is, where I kind of disagree with Mac, what did you say, Mac, about the future of this team? I think it's great that he doesn't have to be the future of this team, because for so many years on this organizational doorstep, we've had maybe one guy that we've all wrapped our arms around. So this is going to be the future. This is going to be the guy. How many guys have we done that with over the years, right? A lot, because there was nobody else out there. We're in an era now of Royals baseball that is starting to become, in my opinion, as long as this continues to move in the right direction, very similar to what the Chiefs are, where you're not drafting somebody who has to come in and save your franchise. You're drafting somebody that you can add in to continue to make your franchise good and continue this success train moving forward. And that's why I look at Jack Caglione different than I looked at maybe Salvi or Moose or Haas or some of these other guys, Bobby Witt Jr., Alex Gordon, Jermaine Dye, Johnny Damon. Like a lot of these guys that came up were going to save the franchise, and that was the guy we were all counting on. Now, all of a sudden, you got a roster that where Jack Caglione doesn't have to be pressurized to save the franchise. He can just come up and be a part of the franchise. And because of that, I think his transition is going to be a lot better into the big leagues than maybe anybody else we've seen come before him, because we're not looking at him to save the franchise. We're just looking at him to be a piece to a contender that has established success.
People on the text line, we have one that says his name is Jackie Moons because all he does is hit moonshots.
I like that.
Solid. Someone says their one word would be stud. Another one says money. He going to get a lot of that eventually in his future. And then somebody says gator. So there you go, Mac. That's your only hatred against his Florida gator. Somebody from the 913 says orgasmic. And then someone asks, how far do you think he hits a golf ball? I don't know if he has a golf swing, but I bet he hits it very far if he connects it. I mean, I've seen the Mike Trout video of him at Top Golf.
Wow, that is great.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, and that's before AI, so you know that's real, Daddy. But no, I think so. I was kind of talking to you guys the other day. Do you think there's a chance that Caglione and Bobby Witt Jr. could be the next Moose and Haas?
Yeah, I think there's that possibility, but I don't want to push that right now and say that.
Yeah,
you know,
and I'm not comping that. I'm just saying, like, could they have that relationship? Because we heard the audio the other day of Bobby Witt Jr. talking about, Caglione being like that guy and like what he expects, and then you hear Caglione talk about Bobby Witt Jr. He's like, it's cool to see Bobby in real life do his thing and then try to pick his brain.
It's to me, it has the possibility to actually be better than Moose and Haas.
Kelsey and Mahomes.
I think we're a little far away from anything being that quite now. Like peanut butter and chocolate isn't even Kelsey and Mahomes. And I love peanut butter and chocolate, right? So I look at Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey. Just they're over here for now. Okay, they're seated at the private table in the back of Jasper's, right? Everybody else is kind of in the main dining room, and I think they have an opportunity. Are you talking about like relationship, or are you talking about relationship on the field? Because I think okay, from off the field's going to be tough
because they're similar in age.
Yeah, but it's going to be tough. That Moose Haas thing was, that was pretty dynamic that those two had, and still do today. I mean, they're still doing the podcast and all that kind of stuff. So they came up together, and they had the years of Pocatello, Idaho, and all the other outposts of baseball of where they played together. I think that they have an opportunity to be better from an on-field standpoint. And the reason I say that is because you have John Sherman as your owner now and not David Glass. We knew that Moose Haas thing was only going to be around for a hot minute because they weren't going to pay those guys, right? And so with Jack Caglione, if he shows that he's worthy of paying, obviously John Sherman and company are going to pay Jack Caglione. They've shown that. They've laid out that precedent. We should all expect now when we have a young player that this organization is going to sign them and keep them here. They've done that with their best player in Bobby Witt Jr., and they've done that with their best pitcher, their homegrown guy, quote unquote, in Cole Reagans, right? You signed your two guys to big-time, long-term deals. John Sherman, right when he took over, Dayton signed Salvador Perez to that long-term deal, right? So you're signing guys that you believe are part of your organization moving forward. And so that's why I think from an on-field standpoint, they have an opportunity to be more accomplished than Moose and Hosmer do, because I think they're going to have a long time together, because I do believe John's going to pay him.
Somebody in the text line says, I don't know if you can describe it in one word. I'm looking at the future with Bobby batting second and Jack hitting third. So futuristic would be your one word.
Yeah, futuristic is a good word, yeah.
Spicy meatball is from the 815. And then you have, the negative Nancy's, small market, LOL, going to have these two guys play 2 seasons together and have to trade one. No, you don't.
No, you don't. Like, see, if that's your attitude right now, you have not been paying attention to what this team is doing.
Yeah, I mean, they just extended Cole Reagans. They brought back Michael Walker. They paid Seth Lugo and paid Bobby Witt Jr. $177 million and 77777 afterwards. So, you have an owner that's, proven to you, I don't know how much more you need, but you have an owner right now that's proven to you that he wants the team to be great. They want this team to be good. And also, you have 5 years with Caglione. So, try to be positive with this whole situation.
I don't understand the negativity that anybody has this morning towards Kansas City sports. I really don't, right? Your team is a Super Bowl team, and your baseball team is a playoff team. There were years that I've done radio in this town where we were hoping we'd get 2 wins in a football season and be relevant till April 15th. And now we arguably have the best football operation on planet Earth and a pretty damn good baseball operation with an owner that's willing to spend money.
And you're the 3rd best baseball player in baseball.
In baseball, the best football player, potentially all time, one of the top baseball players in the game
and
today.
And the only 2 people he's behind is probably the greatest baseball player to ever play the sport.
Right.
And the second guy has hit 61 home runs in a season.
Yeah, in the last 2 years. The Aaron Judge been pretty good, right? And so to wake up and have those negative thoughts to me is a very obtuse way of looking at it right now. And as I said, I'm a big history buff, right? I study history. I read about history. I watch historical things all the time. I know a lot about history. But what I know about history in no way is impacting what we're witnessing right now with the Royals and the Chiefs. If you are still thinking that the Royals are the same old operation, then you've been asleep for the last couple of years, and you haven't seen what John Sherman and this organization have done. They've been very transactional. They've spent money. They're locking up their young players. John Sherman is legitimately doing everything that we wished for 25 years David Glass would do. He's doing stuff that Ewing Kauffman did. We've got Bobby Witt locked up for a generation, guys. That's unbelievable. They're spending money on Cole Reagans. They're going out into the free agent market and making signings to spend money to bring players in here. I mean, when John took over this team, one of the edicts that he gave Dayton Moore was go spend money this offseason so the fans know. Now, there wasn't a lot to spend on. It was COVID and all that kind of stuff. But John and his group are not adverse to spending. They're getting ready to build a new stadium. They're getting ready to spend a lot of money to acquire land. They're getting ready to invest big time in this team, even more than they already have. So I just don't appreciate when people come into my kitchen and say they're going to be gone in 2 or 3 years, because that's not what John Sherman is about. I don't know what more he needs to do to show you that this is not David Glass.
I thought it was impressive when you talk about, I think that would be another word of mine. One word to describe Jack Caglione would be impressive. This is what Vern had to say when he was talking about what the coaches see in him.
Listen, it's his first big league clubhouse. The guy's been around the game long enough. He's not going to come in there and start kicking over garbage cans and telling everybody to shut up and listen to what I have to say. But listen, they gave him number 14 in his first big league camp, and Carter Jensen, another guy that hit a home run yesterday, his jersey number's in the 70s. Blake Mitchell's jersey number's in the 70s. They're not expecting Jack Caglione to be wearing those minor league uniforms for long, and it certainly looks to me as if he's well equipped to handle it. And, credit to a guy like Vinny Pasquantino, who has really taken Jack under his wing and has showed him the ropes, not only at first base, but really throughout camp, on the backfields. You're saying, Vinny, keep a watchful eye on Jack Caglione, which, for a guy that's coming for his job, I think is pretty impressive.
So that was Vern talking about Caglione. And the two things that I think is kind of I would say that stick out in my mind is that, one, they gave him the number 14. Carter Jensen,
Huge.
Blake Mitchell, they have numbers in the 70s.
It does. That does matter.
Which you can think that I'm being hyperbolical, but when your number is that high that you did not pick. Now, obviously, if you were like Ohtani and you're like, my number's 75. Like Barry Zito wore 75. That was just, he was a weird surfer dude. Like Barry Zito is one of my favorites of all time. But Zito,
Mulder, and Hudson, man. You talk about 1, 2, 3. God.
Yeah.
Sacramento A's had it going on back then.
They did. Billy Bean, baby. But that's the thing that's interesting about Caglione, one, is that they gave him number 14, which means they expect him at some point to have that hanging at, one Kaufman Drive, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like where one Royal Drive, like that's where they plan on seeing him this year. So that gives me enough insight to know that there is a plan in the future of the near future to have him on this team. The second thing that Vern said that makes me kind of interested in this is that the coaches know that they have to be patient. And I know he's not going to make the opening day roster because if he does, that means something catastrophic happened to Vinny Pasquantino. And
we
I
don't
want
want that, no.
And because I saw what this lineup did last year when Vinny Pasquantino was removed from it due to injury, it was not great.
Mm-hmm.
But like, this is something also is that like these coaches, they have, and to me, it's a lot like, and I don't want to, and again, please don't think that I'm doing this. I'm not comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, but I can only imagine what Nagy and Reed and all these guys' facial expressions were when they saw Mahomes as a rookie in his first time at training camp, when they knew for a fact it was Alex Smith's job that he was not losing unless he obviously got a major injury that year, that Mahomes was going to be the backup the whole time. But I bet when they saw him throw the ball and do drills, they were like, oh my God, keep it together, keep it together, keep it together. But, we're going to be pretty good. And I think that's what's going on with Cotrero and all these guys that are in the system with the Royals, that they're like looking at him like, we might have something here. But we've got to make sure we polish it, take care of it, and then when it's ready, we can sit back and be like, see,
well, then,
they were right.
In that line of thinking, which I love, you don't bring Caglione up at all this year then. No matter what you're doing, no matter what you're feeling, no matter how you're looking at it, you stay convicted like Andy Reid did with Patrick Mahomes. You know how difficult it must have been at some point for Andy Reid or Matt Nagy or even Travis Kelce at some point to go, can we play this kid? With what he's doing. And they stayed convicted to it, and they did not rush him, and they played him at the end of the year when in a game obviously that didn't matter. They gave him that opportunity. Then the playoffs started. It was Alex Smith's deal, and then when it was over, and it was Patrick Mahomes' turn to take over. I think that's kind of the way I would love to see him, play it with Jack Caglione. Like if they don't have to bring Jack Caglione up this year, that means the team is doing some really good things. Nobody's getting injured. They're in a spot where we're all really excited about what's going on, with this baseball team. So I think right now the best thing would be to kind of have that Patrick Mahomes approach. And again, with John being the big-time Chiefs fan that he is, he understands how things have worked over there at Arrowhead. Maybe he has that conversation with Q and, the folks over there at Royal Stadium and at the Surprise Complex and say, hey, guys, you know what? The Chiefs waited on Mahomes. It's no big deal. We got ourselves a really good team right now. We don't need him to be here, barring catastrophic injury. Let's just wait a year and make sure he is 100% ready to come up to the big league level. There is absolutely no harm in doing that.
I would definitely bring him up if like MJ or Renfroe are absolutely just piss poor.
And that happens. And we don't want that to happen.
I don't want that, but I mean, I don't have belief that MJ Melendez is going to figure it out in year 4.
I don't either.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, again, show me state, prove it to me that you can play. Because I'm tired of every year being like, oh, his elbow's more in, his knee's not hitching as much. Like, you dress the part, be the part.
Right.
If you merit the reaction, then go do it. Like in the minor leagues, you were planking home runs left and right. And then you get to the big leagues and it's like, it's just, it hasn't clicked yet.
Right.
So, I mean, like if that's the case, because again, this team, they did make improvements. They did do things differently. They drafted Caglione. They brought back Waka. They extended Reagans. They got Jonathan India. They have a leadoff hitter. You got your leadoff position fixed. You're 2 through 5. If you have nothing after that because they consistently are just getting out, you have to do something different. And if that something different is bringing up a young kid to light a fire in your veteran ass, then that's what has to happen.
Well, and maybe it will light a fire because, like I told you, man, I've from people not related to the Royals at all, heard good things this winter about MJ. Like when somebody calls you and goes, man, this MJ is really not going to cover. I know it's batting practice and this is people who work in baseball. So I'm excited to see what he can do. MJ has got a lot of expectation going into this season. And if he doesn't realize those expectations, then see you later. We'll move on and find somebody who will realize those expectations. But I'm anxious to see if MJ finally gets to that point where, it's poop or get off the pot time for him, right? And some guys need that moment. Some people need that moment in life. Like some people work better when the deadline's 5 minutes away than when it's 5 days away, right?
Yeah.
I feel like MJ, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for the first month or so of the season, let's see where you are, man. No slow starts. I'm not factoring, it's cold, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Get out there and play your ass off because he needs to do that because there may be a time where they just go, all right, you're gone. Caglione, you're up.
And so I do want to bring this up because there's two texts that one I completely disagree with and one I totally agree with. From the 913, he's played 4 years of college baseball, was the best player in the NCAA all 4 years. He doesn't need to wait. Bring him up. This isn't football. It's baseball. Somebody then says it's like Jackson Holiday's situation from last year. You're on a winning team, but you don't rush to one to bring him up. It's not Jackson Holiday, okay? It's not. His dad was not a major all-star baseball player, and Jack Caglione is not coming out of his senior year in high school at the age of 19. Jackson Holiday is and was the number one prospect in baseball, merits pressure. He was 19 years old, never played against college kids, came up way too fast because he was so young. Caglione went to college, played baseball, did his thing, has dealt with the SEC, knows a little bit of what the
SEC may be better baseball than minor league baseball. And I'm not saying that flippantly. Like that, I've heard from people like the SEC is probably your it's probably double-A baseball.
And the thing that's interesting is that, like, he does have that experience, right? Like, he has that. Like, he's done that. And you look at a guy like Michael Penix Jr., right? Came out of college a little bit older. Bo Nix is a good example.
Yeah.
Bo Nix was a rookie, but he was much older than the average rookie.
He's older than his coach.
And actually figured it out quicker than most people thought. So, like, I don't believe in the whole, like, we need to let him wait. It might shock him because he's in the big leagues. Yes, it's going to be impressive when he steps on the field at Kauffman Stadium and sees that there's 3 different levels in the stadium.
Who hasn't been impressed by that, right?
That's
Their first at bat.
Yeah, and like the thing is like you're not asking him to go out there and be the face of your franchise like you were for Jackson Holiday. Or maybe you think that that's the other 2 guys that are already on there. But I would think that a lot of people in Baltimore are like, this is the future. Bobby Witt is that guy. Bobby Witt is going to take a lot of that stuff and take it away from Caglione. He will have a huge media day, and there will be a ton of people there when he makes his debut, but it ain't going to be like Bobby. Because Bobby was the future. And Bobby can also teach Caglione what it's like to have that sort of pressure where you're this guy. He's like, here's what you need to do. Just kind of, do this, handle it this way. You're going to have your ups. You're going to have your downs. But the thing is, you don't have to worry about being the future, buddy. I am the team. Trust me, it's okay. Just be you, and everything should follow suit.
Well, and that's the beautiful way to do it, and that's what you want. And it's not something we've been able to have here in Kansas City from a baseball standpoint, where guys are able to come up and just kind of fit in. And now we have that opportunity. They don't have to come up and save the franchise. And there's nothing worse than putting that kind of pressure on one individual player in either sport, football or baseball, hell, basketball. Like, look at Philadelphia right now. Like, Joel Embiid was supposed to save that franchise. That dude's probably done for his career. I mean,
and that's injury and stuff that he's done.
Correct. I mean, but I mean, like, that's why you can't put all your eggs into one basket and say this is the guy that's going to save the franchise, because it just is. It's not fair. Because first of all, and second of all, did it. And we've got our franchise has been saved.
Right.
Everybody that comes in now is just making it better.
Yeah, you're just a part.
There's
of it.
no pressure on these guys anymore.
Right. You gonna get a Caglione jersey or a Bobby Witt jersey?
I'm gonna get a Witt Jr. jersey if I get a jersey.
But
again, I don't wear.
I like jerseys in baseball. I do like the jersey baseball.
I don't mind the jersey, but I also like the random things that we used to find at FanFest, like the Don Wakamatsu jerseys and the Raul Ibanez.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like those, I like.
Bob's gonna come in here with a Rusty Kuntz jersey and in the summer ride his bike up to the Odyssey building.
The Rusty ones are expensive. You'd be surprised. Like the Rusty Kuntz ones are not on the $25 rack. That's where you find like your Don Wakamatsus, your Gene Watson jerseys, your Raul Ibanez jerseys. All of those are on the clearance rack.
From the 913, I'm late, but my one word for Jack is problem. Coming up on the other side.
Problem for baseball or problem for...
No, he's going to be a problem.
He's going to be a problem.
Okay, all right.
Number 50. We'll talk about what that means on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, headed out of town on Thursday, and I'm going to be parking at Park and Go because these guys are awesome. And all the spots at Park and Go are covered parking. Think about if you were out of town last week and you had to come back to that snow, right? It was nasty, gross, and disgusting. And you got to Park and Go and your car was covered. You didn't have to worry about cleaning it off because at Park and Go, every spot is covered parking and your car is protected in all the seasons, even from that hot summer sun that's going to beat down on your interior. Man, Park and Go keeps you protected and keeps your car safe. And they make it so easy at Park and Go. You can go to bookparkandgo.com and make your reservation, or just grab their app. It's easy to use and make your reservation immediately after you make your flight reservation. Then prepay, because when you prepay, you'll get their lowest rate and you'll save a ton of money. Plus, at Park and Go, when you show up, they've got the spot reserved for you. The van meets you right away and takes you right to the airport terminal. And when you get back, they're right there. Just grab your bags and walk off the plane and jump on the bus. Join their frequent parker program like we did and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
Folks, it's time to rev up your engines and get ready for a wild ride for Ford Truck Month. And who better to bring you all the excitement than my favorite Ford dealer in Kansas City, Rob Seid of Rob Seid Ford in South Kansas City. Hey, Rob, what's going on?
Hey, Kevin. There are a lot of F-150s out there, but you're not going to find a better deal than Rob Seid Ford's $15,500 off brand new F-150s. That's right, $15,500 off. These savings only happen during Truck Month at Rob Seid Ford, so now is not the time to wait.
Rob Seid Ford is on fire.
Best price and best inventory at Rob Seid Ford. So many F-150s in stock. Don't wait, because they won't last long. Biggest savings, best trade-in offers, all part of the Kevin Harlan VIP experience at Rob Seid Ford.
And I appreciate that. Like I've said before, Bobby, nothing compares to the quality and the professionalism at Rob Seid Ford.
Rob Seid Ford, 135th and State Line, ROBSIGHT.com.
March is almost here, and college basketball is reaching its most exciting stretch of the season. Right now, new customers on FanDuel can get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $150 extra bucks to bet on everything from conference clashes to tournament upsets, and even who's cutting down the nets. If you've been waiting to join FanDuel, there's no better time. The app is easy to use, and when you win, you'll get paid instantly. So visit FanDuel.com/Alex and get in on the college hoops action before March takes over. FanDuel is an official sports betting partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
What does it feel like to file with TaxSlayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund has belonged to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax-confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Folks are always asking me about QC Kinetics treatments. They want to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. If you're wondering if you are a good candidate, let's see if you answered a yes to any of these questions. First question, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints? Do you have trouble sleeping, walking, and doing day-to-day movements? Next, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing things you love because joint pain is holding you back? Walking, golfing, jogging. If you answered yes to any of those, I bet you'd be a great candidate. So please don't wait. Call QC Kinetics right now and ask for your free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can get you lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side, 70 eastbound, heavy from 23rd Street over to Van Brunt with an accident. It's got you down to one lane. First the right lane blocked, then the left. Folks are having to weave through. On the other side, westbound is quite heavy coming out from 435 over towards Van Brunt with onlooker interest. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
I might take the train, I might take the plane, but if I have to walk, I'm going just the same. Going to Kansas City, here I come. They got some crazy little women there, and I'm gonna get me one.
What a jam.
But you know, yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw this or not, Bob. I feel like this strikes a bone more to you than Mac. New York is done in New York.
Good, it should be.
They're going to do a rotation of 5 songs through Sinatra. I know you probably read the story.
Yeah, when I was a kid, you go to Yankee Stadium maybe once a year if you were lucky, right?
Yeah.
It was a big deal to go to a baseball game when I was a kid. I think for most people, it's a big deal to go to a baseball game. But when you're that kid, you get one, maybe 2 games a year.
There's this guy out in the outfield. His name's Lou Gehrig. Real good player.
Right.
Say, he's a good guy here.
And I know as a kid, I was like,
Mantle.
you want him to win, but you always want to win because you wanted to hear New York leaving Yankee Stadium. Because if they lost, they didn't play anything.
It's just quiet.
Yeah, with people yelling and screaming and things of that
Sell
nature.
the team.
Or maybe they played like sometimes they played a Liza Minnelli version of
Liza Minnelli?
New York, which is like when they play when they lost, but like the Yankees all of a sudden overturning like all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's amazing now. Everybody's kind of hold on to Arrowhead for prosperity. The Yankees have allowed people to have beards and are getting rid of New York. I mean,
yeah,
it's like it's insane to think about.
I wonder what the 5 Sinatra songs are going to be.
Well, That's Life, I think, is the one they're playing, is from what a lot of people were saying after a loss, which makes a lot of sense.
Which
right?
now that movie reminds me of that song reminds me of Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay, all right.
Because of the Joker. Every time I say it, I'm just like, now I just think of him shooting Robert De Niro on set. I'm just like, that movie, man.
I mean, but That's Life, I think, is the perfect one after a loss. You're like, That's Life.
Strangers in the Night.
Strangers in the Night. Doobie, doobie, doo.
The Way You Look Tonight. My Way's got to be there.
My Way, such a great song.
Oh, it's great. I just saw this thing made me think of Fescoe so bad. It says, I'm at the age where if you text me after 9 p.m., I'm not texting you back, or I am going to text you back at 4:36 a.m.
Oh, that's what I do. Yeah, I sent a couple of texts out this morning. Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's to my mother. So I fell the other day in the snow. You saw the stupid tweet, right?
Yeah.
I'm fine. I just slipped in this. Not a big deal. All of a sudden, like 10 o'clock at night, my youngest daughter comes into the room. Grandma's calling me to make sure Dad's okay because nobody's answering their phones. Asleep!
Going to bed.
Because my mother is on X, so she monitors on X, I don't understand why you said this can of frozen juice was your childhood. Because it was.
R.I.P. to Joanne. Yep. Fabrics and Crafts realtor Joanne is going out of business and closing all of its stores.
When was the last time you were at a Joanne store?
I can tell you, 8th grade, home ec, Miss Brown's class at Hall McCarter. We had to make pajama pants and a pillowcase.
Yeah, and you had to go to Joanne Fabrics to
I
buy
went to
that,
Joanne Fabrics to get it because that's what she suggested. They had the whole wall full of stuff. Everybody's done this before, right? When you were in school, did you have to make the?
I think they
8th grade?
I'm so old they provided us with that.
Oh, you had to
stuff.
pick your own design.
Mm-hmm. It was cool.
Like, you had either like A or B, red or blue, or here you go.
Yeah, that's the last time we had to learn how to sew.
Yeah,
and we had to sew our own pajama pants, which I think mine ripped. That was a fat ass. And then I think the pillowcase, I was like, this isn't comfortable. Send me back.
It's probably a hard, like I could feel
it's
it.
like, just not great. So, yeah, that was the last time. So, R.I.P. Joanne and Hooters. What are we doing here, world?
Dropping like flies.
Millennials.
Let's be honest. Did those stores really provide you anything that you needed?
Nope.
Like all these places that are closing, I'm like, I can't believe they still are open.
Yeah, seriously.
That's life.
That is a great losing song, though. It really is.
Yeah. Well, that's life.
That's life.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
all the people are pissed. I just spent $1,000 in this game. Dude, it's May. That's your fault. That's life.
Yeah, that's life.
I just want to make sure he's done talking before I interject.
Oh, Frank?
No, Bob.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, text line.
Oh, are you cutting him off? Is that what they're saying?
Too much.
Oh, wow.
Am I good? Am I okay?
I think this is an opening.
I didn't know there was a problem.
I'm sorry.
Y'all got to be better at that.
And now, Kansas City has been ranked 50th in most fun cities in America.
I saw this list yesterday.
How do they do that?
I don't know. Wallet Hub or something. You know how
This
they
is like
do
a
this.
40. Oh, I'm sorry. This is like a 48th ranked city. This is like 31.
Yeah. So it's Wallet Hub, I guess, and they tell you how they do
Nerd
it.
Wallet?
No, it's called Wallet Hub, right? And it's let's see. The site compared 182 cities, including the 150 most populated U.S. cities, plus at least 2 of the most populated cities in each state. Of course, 3 dimensions: entertainment and recreation, nightlife and parties, and cost. Next, the cities were evaluated according to 65 key metrics, which range from fitness centers per capita to movie cost to average open hours of breweries, blah, 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 blah. All come up with a list. Kansas City is 50 on this list. And so I ask you, the text line, and you, Mac, and Dusty, and myself, what could Kansas City do to move up on this list? What do we need to move up on this list to make it even more fun? Downtown baseball, I mean.
But where are we going to park?
Yeah. I think there are more. I was looking at it yesterday when I was at the J. I think there are more parking spots on the Sprint campus than there are at Kauffman Stadium in Arrowhead, because there's about 6 or 7 parking garages of about 5,000 spots apiece. Anyway, so there's plenty of parking. But no, for me, it's actually happening, and it's the development of the riverfront. I've wanted that riverfront developed for so long. We had such wasted space down there. And then the current came in and they built the stadium, and you've got breweries and all kinds of stuff. And they're doing a great job by rebuilding, and not rebuilding, but just developing that riverfront. And I'm all about continuing to develop the smaller neighborhoods and make them better and better and better, because I think the smaller, the small neighborhoods together, the continuity, make the city ultimately better. And so I love what's going on the riverfront. That's what I would do, is just continue that development in the core of the city, and continue to make the core of the city as strong as you possibly can.
Text line says public transportation.
I agree with that as well.
100%.
Yeah. And then the other text says we need a White Castle. Then we'll go to 70.
White Castle.
I would love another sports team.
Okay.
I don't care what it is. Just give me another sports team. NBA, NHL, WNBA. Give me another sports team. Give me another reason to kind of explore my fandom. I mean, now that I've, dove into more NHL, that'd be fun. I would 100% have season tickets.
You got to see.
I would 100% do it.
You watch 2 hockey games, and you're like, I'm in on season tickets. I'm telling you.
I would be, because
it's awesome. I love it. I love it.
Because I would do the same if we had an NBA team. I would have season tickets if we had an NBA team.
Oh,
100%.
I'd switch my allegiance. I've been a Celtics fan since I was 9.
Chiefs,
Immediately be a
way
Kansas
too
City
expensive. Royals, too many games. And NBA, I know there's 81 games in a season, so you're getting, 40 to 40 games at home?
41, yeah.
41
82
games.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean,
Still
it
a
is.
lot.
I mean, 10 baseball games is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, when you
4
buy
Chiefs games is a lot.
I was saying, when you buy those 20-game packages, like my buddy and his what do you call it? Mother and father-in-law?
Yeah.
In-laws.
In-laws, yeah. I don't know.
It's a new term, yes.
But yeah,
the
they
in-laws.
split a 20-game package. So he gets 10, they get 10. He's like, oh, man, dude, 10's still a lot.
10's a lot. It's 2 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you have kids and things and everybody's got stuff going on, it's like, when am I going to get out there? For us now, I know how busy we are. Royals games are like that morning. Nobody's got anything going on. Let's go to the game tonight, or let's go to the game this afternoon, or whatever the case may be. Like, that's kind of how it is for us. I think it would be so hard to have season tickets at this point of my life for baseball, for hockey, for football, because they're just, or for basketball, because there's so much inventory. Football is manageable. We only do a half season. We split with our friend. And we were kind of going through it again yesterday because already, payments are already due for next year for those tickets. I'm like, 4 games is a lot. It is a lot to go to. And so I don't know how, like, if you have an 81-game pack for baseball, do people still have a full 81-game season and going to every game?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know my friend Rob, who sits behind home plate right there, has that. But he doesn't even go to every game. And he's a diehard. He was going to every game in 2002.
I like this. For me, I would enjoy a stronger music scene. It's kind of died in the last 10 years. I mean, COVID killed it for a little bit.
Yeah,
but, I mean, you still have, like, Grinders. I think you have the Record Bar. You have the Midland. You have Starlight does good stuff.
Grinders is quietly really good for acts, man. Look at their calendar and see what they got coming up.
Yeah,
man.
I went and saw Bleachers there last year. It was fantastic. Like, it was an amazing show.
It's a great
and then
venue.
ate at the restaurant, walked right out the back door, and then boom, I was there the rest of the night.
It's really a great spot.
Ran into Blair there, got a signed shirt from Jack Antonoff because Blair's the man. But yeah, I mean, I would like that, like turn into a little bit of an Austin.
Yeah, well, it's headed that way. I mean, you got Taylor Swift and Rihanna living here, and we're the next up and coming city in the country. People are tired of California. People have outpriced themselves from Austin, and so now people are coming here to Kansas City. Should they come to Kansas City? Yeah, hell yeah. Everybody's moving here now. And so is it sad that I thought, like, if Travis retires, we lose a little bit of our cool factor? Like, that was one of my biggest
Something
things.
tells me they're not going anywhere after football season.
Yeah, I don't think they are either. But still, I'm like if Travis retires, do we lose our cool factor? So what would you do to move Kansas City on that fun city list? How would you rank it higher? What would you add to Kansas City?
913-586-7965. We'll get into more of that, obviously, as your answers come in. But coming up on the other side, who are you taking when it comes to odds in college basketball? The Tigers play tonight to rebound, no pun intended, from their loss to Arkansas. You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan.
Now that the snow is gone, I can look outside and see my terrible lawn, and I'm like, ugh, I can't wait till Aspen Lawn and Pest Control takes control of this lawn and finally makes it look good. Makes it look like the best on the block, because it will be the best on the block, because Aspen Lawn and Pest Control has been in this business since 1985. I've been trying to get my lawn right for the last couple of years, and it's just not working. I've got roots under the ground. It's sucking all the water out. I can't figure things out. Weeds are everywhere, and I'm done. I'm going to trust the professionals at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. They have college degrees in making your lawn look awesome. And you see their iconic blue trucks all over Kansas City. They're always parked in front of the nicest lawns in town. They have award-winning service, and they've been in business since 1985. So when you've been around that long, you know you're doing things the right way. And they offer full-service lawn care, irrigation, and pest control. Right now, if you mention you heard this ad here on 96.5 The Fan, you'll get a free estimate plus up to half off your first application just by saying you heard it right here. So expect the best. Don't wait. Call today, or better yet, just visit aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state, back and forth, dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then. 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-656-1551. That's 800-656-1551. 800-656-1551.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Watch by Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Call 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. Northland 29 southbound at 635 with an accident. It looks like they're going to force you to exit 635 southbound before that's all said and done. Right now, they're letting one little stream of cars get through with the accident right there at the interchange where 635 joins 29 southbound. Delays there stretch back from Northwest 64th Street and building. Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. February Valentine's special buy one toilet, get the second one half off. Call Connolly at 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
This is the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Royals baseball. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
We asked, you responded. What do you think would make Kansas City a more likable or more fun city?
More fun, yeah, more fun. For those who don't know, Kansas City ranked 50th in the nation as the 50th most fun city.
They said, I think making Kansas City more walkable would make the most impact in terms of elevating the city.
Yeah.
Car dependency in the city center should be a thing of the past.
I don't disagree with that either. We are so dependent on our cars here. Yeah, I wish you could walk everywhere, take
as a
mass
country,
transit.
really.
As a country, yeah.
All KC needs now is an In-N-Out burger.
Yeah, I'm in on that, baby.
You might be able to get one of those this weekend.
I may get one in Arizona this weekend.
Is that where you have the spot? Like where there's like all
the
lots?
Yeah. So I'm going to Arizona this weekend. I'm going to see my friend Gene with the White Sox this weekend. May pop over to Surprise for a minute and see some folks over there. And then I'm going back. Watson, yes. Yes. And then as the family, we're going back in 2 weeks for spring break and going to take in some Royals games.
Oh, they're actually going to have a spring break?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Let me ask you that real quick. I know I'm cutting you off again, but wouldn't you just punt spring break and be like, let's just go for the week?
It's funny you say that.
Okay.
I was walking into the J yesterday, and you do a lot of just random thinking about things hit you at some. But I distinctly remember this yesterday. I'm walking into the J, and I'm thinking to myself, God, I remember when we were kids, if there was too much snow, they would cancel spring break on us. But so many people make these plans to get away, and they can cancel it all they want. I don't know how many people are going to show up, to school, because once you get to that certain age, and I think most parents understand this, you basically have 3 weeks a year where you can take a vacation with your family now if your kids are involved. It is spring break, it is the 4th of July week, and it is the last week of the year. And that is it. Those are kind of like the dead weeks when you have kids. And so I just think everybody's going to have trips planned and things planned. But I do remember as a kid, spring break wasn't a thing back in my day. And it was like Easter week. They would cancel days and send you back to school because of the snow. And so I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, God, I wonder if they're going to cancel spring break this year. So anyway, I'm going to quick stop in Arizona for 2 days, and then we're going to go back for a couple of days in March. But with the 101 and Bell Road is the greatest food location on planet Earth. And I sent Emily over there the other day for me, just because I was like, just please go over to 101 and Bell Road and just go sit in the parking lot that has the In-N-Out burger and Chick-fil-A.
Just check on her. Make sure it's doing okay for me.
Doing okay. She goes, well, I got to go over there anyway. There's a store or something she had to stop at or whatever. I'm like, just please go into that parking lot, make sure everything's okay. And just down the road on the other side of the 101 on Bell Road, there's a Whataburger. So, I mean,
wow.
it really is a parking lot.
Damn.
That's got everything. So if you don't like the In-N-Out fries, which I know a lot of folks don't because they're fresh cut, they're different, whatever, you can get your burger, and then you go to Chick-fil-A, and you can get your waffle fries. If that's not the fattest fat guy move ever. And then there was a La Quinta Inn that used to back up. I don't know if the La Quinta Inn is still there, but I stayed in that La Quinta Inn. That's where they put me up one year. So Fatty McFatterson back in my day, Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out burger, I don't even have to drive. Give me a 12-pack. I've got dinner.
Waddling back to the room,
That's
immediately
right.
passing out.
Yeah.
Get like a spicy chicken sandwich, animal style.
Oh,
That'd be gnarly.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how. I was saying, like, I don't know how you'd be able to get that done, but like
that's what I was thinking. Like, how do you get the like, I guess you could go fries, animal style sauce on the side,
or
maybe?
you'd have to like somehow sweetheart talk your way into like a Chick-fil-A or a Water or an In-N-Out and be like, hey, I just bought this over here. I know competitor, but like, I'll pay. Can you turn this to an animal style? And somebody there would probably be like, yeah, dude. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Don't talk until you try, you know?
Right. No, that's a great idea. I never even thought about that. Like, yeah.
Or animal style waffle fries, like you said. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Because that'll hold. Waffle fries will hold.
Waffle fries are the perfect fry for the animal style sauce. Does anybody know? Somebody out there has done this, right? You've got animal style sauce on the side at In-N-Out Burger. Please, somebody on the text line has done that.
What's a really fat, dusty move back in the day was the McChicken add mac sauce.
Yeah, that's a fat guy move. Yeah. I sent you that picture over the weekend of this new Jack Smash thing from Jack in the Box.
Right. Yeah, the double, what was like a double, triple, like smash burger or something like that. It was huge.
Yeah, I mean, it was
the Jack Smash.
Jack Smash. Remember when he was on Channel 41? Jack Smash!
Yeah.
Nice haircut.
And how come he's not on there anymore?
Because he Jack Smashed. Now, we know why he's not on there anymore.
Smash. Yeah. Ugh.
Let me see if I can find that picture of that burger.
While you do that, there is college basketball from Mizzou. Last night, KU played at midnight. Literally. So KU's game got over this morning.
We were here before that game ended.
Yeah, they beat Colorado last night. They're no longer ranked. We talked about it. It's the first time KU has not been ranked in over thousands of days.
Right.
Mizzou is ranked. They're 14th in the nation. They play tonight. They got one. They should take care of business tonight for the Mizzou Tigers. They're coming off their loss this weekend that they ended up losing to Arkansas. That is college basketball. It's a long schedule. It's a grinder. But they get South Carolina at home tonight. They should be able to take care of business. South Carolina is not a good basketball team. So you asked, and these are the odds. Missouri is 30-1 to win the national title at plus 3,000. According to DraftKings. KU is 60-1 plus 6,000. You asked the question, who would you take and why?
Yeah, I put my money on KU because of the head coach in the tournament. He's got the experience, still got that cachet, if you will. I would still go with KU in the tournament. And I'm not saying that because I'm a KU fan. I think Missouri's got a nice basketball team, obviously. But if I'm a betting man, I'm putting my money on KU before I'm putting it on Missouri, just based on track record. This double Jack Smash is just disgusting. It's like mac sauce on a brioche bun. It's a Big Mac of smashed patties on a much bigger bun.
Yeah. But if you'd been in the garage and the family's away and you pulled
you were eating
DoorDash,
that. Yeah, you would eat that. Yeah.
I'll do the opposite, right?
Okay, yeah.
I'll say Mizzou. They don't have anything to prove. They have a tournament-style player that, again, he can't play like he played against Arkansas where he went 2 of 10 from the arc. But
see, that's what kills you in the tournament, though, man.
It catapults you. If you find rhythm, and Caleb Grill could do that, Caleb Grill, Missouri, can ride on the backs of Bates and Caleb Grill, and they could be something. They've got their big man. They got their three-point shooter. They have nothing to prove. They won 0 conference games this year. They were preseason unranked. They're 14th. Ride that momentum. Plus, here's the other advantage.
I think they've got a lot more on their shoulders than KU does right now. Going into the tournament, I think this is the first time in a long time where KU has 0 pressure to do anything in the tournament.
Because no one expects
anything. No one expects them to do anything.
But it's still Kansas. You go in the first round and lose, it'll be a shame.
Oh, of course.
Because it's Kansas, right?
Of course. Yeah.
And I think that if Mizzou gets in there and makes some noise and all of a sudden, like, the portal guy that is Denny Gates, whether you like it or whether you hate it, it's his style, and it either works or it does not at all. And
it's sink or swim, right?
Yeah, it's 0 wins in the conference, or you're the 5th best team in the best conference.
Yeah.
The other reason why I will say that is because I still go back to Jay Billis' comment that whoever wins the SEC tournament is essentially a better champion than it is to win the national championship because of the toughness of the team. So Missouri's going to get a very good blueprint of tough teams, big games to play.
Missouri will be a top 4 seed in the tournament.
I think Lenardi has them as a 5 right now.
Oh, really?
The second 5 seed, or it's either the second 5 or the second 4.
None of this ever makes sense.
No,
right?
it doesn't.
No, it
doesn't. And then they'll do selection Sunday and be like, I just can't believe that Missouri's got to go to Omaha to play their, or they have to go to wherever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the FPI is
right.
So we'll complain about.
I'll lean towards Missouri because A, they've been the better team this year. B, they're not a blue blood like Kansas where everybody's going to be like infatuated if they can actually do it. And C, I don't think they have the amount of pressure. And I get it. Kansas has not been good. There's still pressure to be dominant or to be a team like Kansas in the tournament.
Yeah, there is a little bit of that. You're right. Because if they do lose in the first round and it's to
Carrington will have it laminated on his door the next day.
Northeastern or something like that. I was at Northeastern Monmouth last night. What a barn burner last night at Jadwin Gym in Long Branch, New Jersey. My parents' alma mater. Huge game last night. No, it wasn't. But I did watch. I don't know why I got myself fixated on that game, but I did. But, if Kansas loses to Northeastern or Monmouth or something like that, people will talk about it. This could be the year, though, with no expectation, Kansas has like a better tournament than anybody's ever expecting, right? Like if Kansas gets into the second weekend of the tournament, they make the Sweet 16. That's a huge deal.
Massive success.
Massive success.
Yes. And everyone's like, Bill Self, how did he do it? And
well, it's all matchups.
Yes, of course.
Of
course.
It's all about the matchups, right? And so I would love to see Kansas and Missouri, playing in the NCAA tournament. That'd be outstanding.
Please.
Right? How cool would that be?
Yeah, I don't like Missouri's chances, to be honest. I'd take them over KU, but because they're a high-scoring team, because if they can't play defense. They rely on points. Every game that they win, it's 85 to 84. It's 90 to 100. And that in the tournament.
Interesting take.
That in the tournament, I don't like that. I don't like teams that require on scoring points because there will be a night where Caleb Grill doesn't have his 3-point shot, where Mark Mitchell isn't making that fadeaway turnaround from the elbow, and it's like, hey, we got 65 points tonight. We need to hold them to 64, and they don't have that in them.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about the tournament, man. Like you feel so good going in, and then your number one player goes ice cold, and you're eliminated, and it's over.
It's done.
Everybody says the tournament, there's no other quick ending to than like the NCAA. No, there is in every other sport except like football has quick endings and like it happens fast.
Yeah.
And so,
the Super Bowl kind of drags on after they win.
Well, after they win. Yeah, I'm talking about like after a loss. Like it's a quick loss. It's a one and done and you're out.
You're gone.
Okay, yeah. Football, it's like, people forgot how good the Commanders were all year once Philadelphia beat them. It's like,
who did Philadelphia play
in the NFC Championship game?
Exactly.
Hello?
Oh, the Commanders, they weren't that good this year. They got lucky. That's kind of how. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you forget the losers real fast. But, if Kansas makes the second weekend, that's a win for them. If Missouri makes the second weekend, I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. There's much more pressure on Missouri going into this tournament this year than there is Kansas. Because I don't think many Kansas folks have any expectation. Now, do Missouri fans have expectation of the tournament? I don't know. Based on history and, beaten down all the time, maybe not, but they should.
And then also, how many of those fans are lying to you about their expectations?
Well, that happens all the
time. Then they lose. I knew it was going to happen. Damn it.
Yeah.
So, wait a minute.
Rewind the tape, buddy.
That's right. Mahomes still pisses people off. Plus, there's been a whole lot of nonsense that we haven't even gotten a free agency in the NFL. We'll explain on the other side. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Fescoe and Dusty.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, all that talk about basketball's got me excited for the Underdog app. And if you're in the state of Missouri, you can use the Underdog app right now and start having fun like I am when it comes to sports. If you want to win up to 1,000 times your money, you can with Underdog. And again, it's available right now in Missouri. To play, choose whether a player will go higher or lower than one of their stats, points, assists, rebounds, and more. And they've got all of your favorite leagues, whether it's college basketball, the NHL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, whatever it is that you want to get in on, it's available on the Underdog app, and you can play in Missouri, and you can play with as little as $1. And if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money, so you can turn $1 into 1,000 just with your sports knowledge. Millions of fans have already won billions playing on Underdog, and their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews and millions of players. So do what I did and download that Underdog app. Sign up now using the promo code BOB to unlock a special offer of up to 1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code BOB. Claim your special offer today and get up to 1,000 in bonus cash upon first deposit. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Love what you drive on a daily basis when you go to Max Motors. 7 locations in Kansas and Missouri, including Harrisonville, Clinton, and Belton. And right now, a new 2024 Jeep Gladiator is up to 30% off MSRP. Stock number S240162. Must finance with dealer lender. Offer expires 3/3/25. They are simply the best in the Midwest. The best financing options available at Max Motors with the max trade-in values in the Midwest. Max Motors, the easiest place to buy a car. MaxMotors.com.
Men, this is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And though I generally talk about medicine and effective treatments for erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues, today I want to talk about love. Because love is the best reason to get treated for your ED. You see, ED can cause major relationship issues. In fact, men often push their partners away when ED becomes a problem. The condition can cause depression, arguments, breakups, and even contribute to divorce. But the good news is that if you're like most men suffering with ED, you can be successfully treated at Heartland Men's Health and put a stop to the relationship stresses that ED can cause. I say this with all confidence because we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Surely, it's likely you'll find you're performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and get the love back in your life. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
And Doug. Quickly, Moo. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data, available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Pheasants Forever's National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic is coming to the Kansas City Convention Center this March 7th through the 9th. Join us for puppy and dog training seminars, a youth village for kids, pollinator and wildlife habitat hunting gear in the 20th anniversary of Quail Forever. It's National Pheasant Fest and Quail Classic the weekend of March 7th. Presented by Pheasants Forever, Quail Forever, and Federal Ammunition. For more information, log on to pheasantfest.org.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Northland 29 southbound recovering from Northwest 64th Street. Earlier accident at 635 has cleared. 169 highway southbound very heavy from Berry down towards 68th Street with a wreck blocking at least one lane of traffic. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
A little bit of breaking news, just a little bit of breaking news at work. Shout out Tim Robinson for that one. The Commanders have had trade conversations centered around Pro Bowl defensive lineman Jonathan Allen. Washington plans to do right by their player, and Allen's camp is involved in helping him land at the right spot, either via trade or free agency. He has 1 year left at $15 million.
This is a guy who was a team captain, missed most of the last season, if not all, torn pec muscle, and now wants to be traded.
Yeah.
On a team that showed so much potential in life, and he's like,
Yeah, why would you want out of that?
Right
Because
now?
you want your money. That's all
You
it
want a
is.
bag.
You want to get paid.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. He tore his pec. He realized this isn't forever. I need to go get paid. One opportunity. Because how many opportunities does a defensive tackle truly have?
2
to get paid, right?
Max, yeah.
Right. And
At
so
max, yeah.
This is his first real opportunity to get paid, right? And so you want to take advantage. I get what he's doing.
No, it makes
right now.
sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And if Washington's not going to pay you and get you that long-term deal right now, people are human. No matter how much money you make, you still have that sense of, I want to be paid. I want to be shown my worth. I don't want to have to worry about money. Not that these guys do, but it's all relative, right? So I get it. I understand why he wants to be traded.
Yeah, he's 30, so this will be his last chance. So he's trying to get every inch of it.
Yeah, he's doing the Chris Jones.
Yep. Yeah, which he should be doing.
Also, don't forget there is a new Character Concerns podcast on the Odyssey page. You can go get that. It's an Odyssey Sports podcast. Character Concerns, Chris Nacero, Jay Binkley. It is the Combine Watch.
Well, we'll have Binkley on tomorrow.
How many people are going to watch? Because nobody's performing in the Combine.
I saw something today. It said combined snubs. I'm like, I don't even know who's going, let alone who's being snubbed at the Combine.
Yeah, the Combine.
Some people just don't want to compromise their ways.
Yeah, I know. Like, Shador's not going to throw. He's going to go interview with people.
He's going to throw at the Colorado Pro Day.
That's right. Is the Combine losing its, like...
Well, nobody does it. Like,
That's what I'm saying,
Ashton Genty's not performing there. Your guys' dude out of Penn State, he's not doing anything there.
Why would you? You know, like, I mean...
Yeah, no benefit.
But it's 1,000 times way more exciting than the start of baseball.
Well,
that was a text yesterday.
To be fair to that texture, a lot of the
1,000 times, Mac. Let's think about that. 1,000 times.
Forget that. That's
the Combine is not 1,000 times more exciting than the start of baseball.
I would give it a list if they're like it's 10 times, 1,000 times.
1,000 times ridiculous.
The Combine is guys running around literally in their underwear.
Yes.
Like, that's not
If
interesting.
at all, if you're Chris Jones.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're Chris Jones.
We're gonna let it all hang out.
He recovered nicely from that, though, you know?
He's like made it a shtick.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You got to embrace that kind of stuff.
He slid head first.
Like, that stuff happens to you. You embrace it. You own it. You have fun with it. Yeah, you got to.
You were going to say something.
Well, no, I was just going to say I think a lot of the wide receivers work, a lot of linebackers and corners. Like the skill drills are fun. Seeing them run around,
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I'm a nerd, but I think it's fun.
I mean, I like watching the quarterbacks run the 40-yard dash.
Yeah.
Like, that's fun.
The linemen running 40-yard dashes, that's fun.
But, like, I don't watch it for I mean, I guess I'm watching it for, like, comedy relief, but I'm not going out there being like, did you see that guy run the cone
Dusty,
drill?
let me ask you this real
Did you
fast.
see him run that cone drill? I'd rather watch Jack Caglione hit a piss missile 445
absolutely.
feet.
Give me a spring training game any day of the week over
Like
the Combine.
great George Kittle doing his drill with a bloody nose is more entertaining to me than a guy sitting back and be like, he's hitting the targets. He looks great.
This weekend is going to be beautiful, right? This week is going to be beautiful.
Oh, yeah,
the
67
Combine
on
starts
Friday.
on Thursday. Are you really sitting inside Friday, Saturday, Sunday watching that on TV? No, you're outside. You're not going to pay any attention to it, and that's fine.
The only way I will watch the Combine is if, like, I'm at the bar at Stewie McBrew's on Friday for happy hour and it's on. That's the only way I will pay attention.
That's exactly right. Or if something happens and somebody falls out like Chris Jones did and it's on social media, you'll see it. You know, maybe somebody says something, like Andy Reid is speaking at 11, Brett Veach speaking at 11:30 today. Maybe they say something entertaining or somebody does something, you know, whatever, you know. It's this has become just it really is like the NFL's coaches convention job fair all that kind of stuff where they kind of lay the groundwork for free agency, which begins in about 2 weeks. And so, that's good for them. They'll all go to St. Elmo's and get shrimp cocktail and, talk about life like that. Great on them. But for an entertainment standpoint, nah.
It's also a really good 80s movie song, St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh, it's a fantastic song. You ever have their cocktail sauce? It's unbelievable. You can get it at Hy-Vee. I saw it there yesterday.
Wow.
It is so hot and it is so good.
Mm-hmm.
So is that a problem for the NFL that the combine kind of sucks and is getting worse? Or,
I don't know.
do they
What
care?
other sport has something like that? Like, you don't see anything like that in baseball or basketball or hockey, really, right?
Yeah, basketball doesn't really televise it. They have it, but
They have it, but yeah, they have
I think
they have like the rookie league or whatever, like before they go in, or what is it? They do something like that,
like
a scrimmage, or they
Yeah.
do that with like the rookies that are playing. Because you're always like, man, this guy looks like a man amongst boys.
Yes.
I think it's something that technology has kind of just knocked off the face of the earth, right? Like, it used to be a deal where everybody got together and did their thing, and it was like a clearinghouse, a central location for all the coaches and everybody just to go to one place, so you didn't have to bounce all over to all these pro days. And then technology and the ability to watch everything all the time kind of dumbed down, if you will, the combine. And then everybody's got their own pro days and they want to feature themselves out there. And they're going, I'm not going to travel to Indianapolis when people are coming to see me. And so I don't know where it really ranks anymore, on the scale of, God, I got to see somebody, there. I think it's probably good for some of the players that maybe you don't know that get an opportunity to do their thing. But I don't know how many coaches are sleeping in the stadium when this is going on, too.
More
or
and more.
Talking like they're
talking.
like they're not paying
Networking.
attention to offensive tackle 62 out here. They're talking to agents. They're laying the groundwork. They're figuring things out. That's kind of what it is.
Why do y'all say combine like that? Because it's the combine.
It's the combine.
How else would I say that?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if you're just like really into the combine and hate baseball, you probably also just love the XFL, or you're excited for that. Like, do you get excited for Canadian Football League?
Me?
No, I'm just saying, like, these people. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I get it. Baseball's not everybody's jam, but I mean, to me, it's just like.
But it doesn't mean that everything needs to be NFL centric all the time. Even though the league has done a great job of making something important happen every single month, they've done a nice job of monopolizing the year. But at this time of the season, when you have a team like the Chiefs, who doesn't have a top 5 pick ever and all that kind of stuff, it is baseball season, and we got ourselves a good baseball team. I'm excited about this baseball season. I'm excited to watch these guys play. I'm excited to see them take that next step. They'll be playing a whole slew of games before the Chiefs even get busy doing anything.
And again, I think people are getting my take on the combine as opposed to like yours. Like somebody says here, and I don't disrespect this text. I think it's great. It says, I don't think the combine is fun to watch, but I still think it has a purpose. I totally agree.
Well, there's two different conversations.
Because think about Xavier Worthy. The combine probably rose his draft position by 10 spots. Again, I did not watch Xavier Worthy live. I wasn't going, ooh, here's the receivers. Let's see who runs the fast one. I waited when it said, guy sets record at combine out of Texas. Xavier Worthy runs a 4.2, what was like a 4.21, whatever it was. And then I found out later on that they sent his shoes, his short, his jersey, all that to the Hall of Fame.
That's a human interest story.
That is me finding out
I don't
10
need to
minutes
watch
later
that
it happened. And then somebody says, why worry about baseball if you miss the first game, you have 90 more to watch. There's something about opening day. And this is me. You're a combine guy. I'm baseball guy. There's something to me about opening day that just doesn't. Just like you could say the same thing for the NFL season. Oh, you missed opening night of the NFL season. You have the other 8 games the rest of the season to watch. Fair point. I'm just saying, like, to me, like, knowing baseball's here is knowing that we've made it to spring.
Yes.
That summer is on the horizon. There's more to it.
Yes.
Whereas, like, maybe if you're a combine guy, you're like, now the season has started. Now we can go kind of nitpick where we want to fix guys on our roster. Oh, there's this lineman that nobody's talking about that could play guard or left tackle, like whatever it may be. I don't know. But again, I have no issue with it. I'm just saying, to me, I would disagree. And I think it's okay to disagree with people.
Yeah.
I just think that opening the season of baseball is a little bit more entertaining to me than a guy who may or may not throw at a combine.
I totally agree with you on that one. And look, we just happen to be big-time baseball fans, and, it's my favorite sport, always will be. As much as I love watching, the Chiefs play, baseball will always be my first love. And I think opening day in baseball, though, Dusty, is more than just about the start of a new sports season. It's the rebirth of life again, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time everybody starts to enter out of their homes after being cooped up for a long winter's nap, and everybody's outside again, and it's sunshine, and it's optimism, and it's just fun to know there's no better place in the world than a baseball stadium. I don't care who's playing. You're sitting there watching a ball game, and the sun's beating down on you, and you're enjoying a beer and a hot dog, and you're watching a game. Like, there's not much better in life. I would do that every day of the week than going to the combine.
That's why I always tell people, like, if you can't go to opening day, buy the ticket to Saturday.
Yeah, go
It'll
the
be
next day.
significantly lower attendance. Like, no one will be there as much as they were on opening day, because if opening day wasn't exciting, then go look at the crowds. Go look at the ticket prices. Everyone wants to go because it is the first game. It's not game 75.
Right.
It's the number one game of the season, and you get to be there. They do the show. They do all the announcements. They do all that sort of thing.
The bunting is out. Everybody's dressed up. They look good.
Yeah, and I like this text. Opening day marks that we made it through winter.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's not about the baseball as much as it is about life.
Yes.
Life becomes anew on opening day.
Right. Yeah. It's just, to me, it's enjoyable. Now, if you this weekend, you want to be cooped up in your house when it's 75 degrees outside, not going to be that, but like it's 60 and you want to watch a guy, do the cone drill. Well, I don't think he could make it in the league. He only did 15 reps on bench. Mahomes is still pissing people off in the offseason.
What is going on here?
So they were mad last night that he was on TV?
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, he was Texas Tech'd out.
Well,
he had red shoes. Were those Forces, or were those like a trendy new shoe? Because they seemed high on the platform.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then he had the black jeans, he had the jacket, the shirt, the new haircut, the
wasn't
chains.
his shoe? They weren't his shoes?
They might have been. But they just looked really big and red.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Like Andy Dalton.
Here's the headline: ESPN getting under fire over Patrick Mahomes. Like,
Yeah.
what they show him a couple of times during a big time college basketball game where he's the most famous person. Like,
And to be fair, he was always on the wide shot because he was sitting right next to
they
the
had a
bench.
great seat, as you said earlier, the Spike Lee seat or whatever. Like, that's where where he should be sitting. Name another Texas Tech anything.
Michael Crabtree.
Other than that,
Oswego football.
But
Cliff Kingsbury.
Name somebody else.
I can't.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I couldn't tell you the Texas Tech basketball
Here
coaches.
comes Binkley.
And so, we need to get that bit back. Let's call Binkley. Binkley, name somebody from Texas Tech.
Hey, where do you want me to start, Bob?
Yeah. So ESPN under fire, and then they start listing all the tweets. Hey, ESPN, I want to watch Texas Tech and Houston play basketball, not expletive Patrick Mahomes. At ESPN, can we please stop showing expletive Pat Mahomes reactions? Show the damn game, another annoyed fan posted. Well, at ESPN, stop showing P. Mahomes during the broadcast, commented a different social media user.
P. Mahomes.
Another X post. With the NFL season over, I figured I could at least go a few months without having Mahomes shoved down my throat. Wrong! Just trying to watch basketball, yet every dead ball instantly pans to Mahomes. I'm telling you what, man. Was Tony Dungy watching this game last night?
Yes. No, because he didn't care because Taylor wasn't there. It was just Pat and Britt.
That's right.
Wes Welker, Texas Tech. John Denver, Texas Tech.
John Denver.
Cheryl Swoops, Texas Tech.
Oh, I knew Cheryl
Natalie
Swoops,
Maines from the Chicks, formerly known as the Dixie Chicks, Texas Tech. Did you know Patrick Mahomes went there?
Wait. John Denver, the singer?
That's right.
And West Virginia has adopted his. So obviously,
Did I just blow your mind?
You did. No, you did. Yeah.
Barry Corbin, Cliff Kingsbury, Rick Husband, astronaut, Angela Braley. I don't know who that is. Pat Green. Those are just the names.
It's not exactly a who's
George
who.
W. Bailey.
Who?
I'm sorry, G.W. Bailey.
Who?
Never heard of it.
He's an American actor.
G.W. Bailey?
Yeah, he was on MASH.
Is that Barnum's kid?
No, he's on MASH.
Who did he play on MASH?
Thaddeus Harris in the Police Academy. Oh yeah, GW. You know who GW Bailey is? He's the fat cop. He played. Oh gosh.
You got to show me a picture of him.
Or not the fat. He was the evil cop. That's.
Oh yeah, I know that guy. Of course, he's been in everything. Yeah,
he's still alive.
He is. No chance that guy's still alive. He was.
Yes, he is. He was born in 1944, and he's 80 years old.
He looked 80 back then.
Yeah, he's still alive. GW
People looked
Bailey.
so much older back in the day than they do now. All that
100%,
Botox
yes.
and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I just think younger people looked more mature back then.
Oh
too.
yeah, you watch shows from the '80s and whatnot.
Yeah.
and you're like, look at these people, and you're like, these are supposed to be teenagers. Yeah, they're all wearing mom jeans and bad mom khakis.
Somebody goes, hang on. The Dixie Chicks now go by the Chicks?
Yes.
They're the Chicks?
A while ago.
No, that's been a generation now. I mean, that's been a long time that they've done that.
Wide Open Space. Fly, that album, banger.
That was like the highlight of being in Texas in 99. Like, they were big back then. We played all their songs.
Yeah. Yeah, those are, okay, they were Louis Vuittons. That's what Patrick Mahomes was wearing?
These Louis Vuitton sneakers. Good
Lord.
Lord.
Dude, he looked great. Like, I'm loving the new Mahomes look.
Yeah,
I don't
fresh.
care if he pisses people off. I like the haircut. I like the fact that he's just like, F it, my life goes on, losses happen. That's life.
Yeah, right? People, like, somebody said yesterday, I can't believe he's out. Like, what do you want him to do?
Yeah, what?
Like, wallow around and, like,
mope in a corner?
You've got to get over it. You got to move on. I think we all have as a fan base, right? Man, move on. What's next? Oh, our season ticket bill came to yesterday. So, hey, we officially have moved on, right?
Yeah, it's been over 2 weeks. Like,
somebody on 816 says, in my Binkley voice, Wes Welker would take deck. He's a slot guy.
Yeah.
Did he create the slot receiver position?
Binkley?
Wow. Wes Welker?
Oh, well, I would lean more towards Binkley creating the slot position than Wes Welker. If you were to tell me who created the slot position, Binkley or Welker, I'm going Binkley.
What is the slot position? Wrong answers only. 913-586. In one word, describe the slot position. 913-586-7965.
How does Binkley describe the slot position?
Hey, tell you what, you got a guy like Xavier Worthy. It's different. It just turned into Gruden.
It really did. I think more and more it is Gruden and not Binkley, but
I like it either way.
George, oh man, respect the text. George Bailey had a wonderful life. Yeah, I love it.
That's really good.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter.
Yeah, that's really good. I was watching an episode of Cheers yesterday or 2 days ago, and I've just gotten back into it, right? And they were watching It's a Wonderful Life, and I thought of you. I'm like, it's Dusty's movie up there. They love that in Cheers. In the 80s, that thing was 50 years old then.
Didn't watch it this Christmas. It was the first one in a while that I had.
Well, that's why you didn't have a good Christmas.
Yeah,
obviously.
that's probably why.
Somebody said, I can't say the words that describe the slot position. Yeah.
That didn't take long.
Nope.
I mean, even with a 14-second delay on the FM now, I mean, it was there immediately.
FCC fine is what somebody says.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, wow, there are a lot of horny people on the text line right now. Somebody says the area John Denver sings about is actually Western Virginia, not West Virginia. Funny enough, people in West Virginia don't know that. LOL. I don't know, man.
West Virginia mountain. There's not Western
mountains
Virginia.
west? Also, screw West Virginia, because when you go to play at their school, you got to like fly in and then you take this weird bus route all the way up to the mountains. It's like annoying.
Have you done that before? Ask Kling about that sometime.
Like,
he's
the one that told me about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because when he was doing stuff for K, he's like, I hate West Virginia. I'm like, why? He's like, one, the song. He's like, two, when you go there, you got to like land, then take this 45-minute bus ride up these horrible roads. And I'm just like,
I'd be throwing up.
Go to Jamaica.
Oh, just
brutal. Those people drive like 100 miles an hour, and it's 2-lane roads, and it's that wide. I'm dead serious.
Nope.
Ooh. It's brutal.
No chance. Western Virginia? No, it's not.
I don't know. I don't know. Slot position equals Dusty's golf game today. I hope so.
Slop position?
Hit both slot and slop. Gonna be
How's the step meter moving out there today?
Who knows? Cart path only. Slot position. That's every Tuesday night for Bob, right? Well, I'm glad that you said that because we've got a new bit coming up, and it's Bob's Threesome Tuesday.
Lady here who's going to join us tonight.
I can't top that. Bob Fescoe, Mac Morey, Dusty Like. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
What the hell's wrong with your station?
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-0766, 800-390-0766, 800-390-0766.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now, you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do, like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking? And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Metro Ford online at kcmetroford.com. Missouri side of the Grandview Triangle, 470 westbound, still quite heavy. Then once you get out onto 435, things pick up and move a little better, just sluggish to the state line. Metro Ford off Nolan Road in Independence is your Ford F-150 headquarters. Right now, get over $13,000 in savings on select new XLT Ford F-150s. When's the last time you saw deals like that? These trucks are moving fast, so hurry to Metro Ford online at kcmetroford.com. See dealer for details. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on. Oh, come on. Woo! Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's love, baby. Let's get it on. Sugar, let's get it on. Woo-hoo. We're all sensitive people with so much to give.
Marvin Gaye.
One of the greatest of all time.
Murdered by his father.
I did not know that.
Really? They got into an argument. His dad was a minister, and he did not like that his son was singing songs about sex. And so they got into an argument. A gun was pulled out, and Marvin Gaye was shot and killed by his father.
So that's how you solve a dispute back then? Wow.
They had an argument.
Wow.
His dad was not liking where his son was going in life with his music, and kaboom.
Where's his dad now?
Dead. Yep. Sorry, I'm full of a bunch of nonsensical facts.
No, I never knew that. That's interesting.
You want to know why they whistle at the end of Sitting on the Dock by the Bay? Okay. So they were recording that song. I know that's not Marvin Gaye, but Chuck Berry, not Chuck Berry.
No, it's
why'd I just draw a blank?
Because I did too.
On the dock of the bay. Come on, text line.
Wasting time.
Come on, text line. So anyways, so they're flying out, or they're recording the song, and they're who is it? Come on, hurry before the text line.
Redding?
Otis Redding.
Otis
that's right.
Redding.
So Otis Redding is performing the song.
Just pulled it up as you did.
And they didn't have the third verse done. Well, he had to fly. His plane crash happened. They never finished the third verse, and the whistling you hear is his producer whistling because they never had the third verse fixed.
Oh, wow.
Now you know.
Interesting. Roberta Flack died yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't know who that was until they told me the song. That was like the famous song she
Yeah,
sang.
and the Fugees redid that song. Yeah,
great band. Bill Withers. Oh, it's not Bill Withers.
No, Bill Withers is another great one.
Yeah. I know. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
There ain't no sunshine when she's gone on Tuesday. But you brought up a new thing, Bob's Threesome Tuesday?
Yeah, or Tuesday threesome, however, we want to phrase that, because people like alliteration, right? So I was just thinking yesterday, like just random stuff, right? And I'm just going to throw out every Tuesday for my threesome 3 random things. Take it for however you want. There's no getting into the weeds. There's no asking why these things are related or whatever. Sometimes it may be things that are related. Sometimes it may be things that aren't. But I asked you today, what's worse? The purple nurple, the nut tap, or the wet willy?
Like start bench cut?
Yeah.
I will say worse is the wet willy. I hate it. I don't want your spit in my ear. I don't like when stuff gets in my ear. It grosses me out.
Yeah.
The nut tap sucks because it's like a delayed burn. Like you'll get it and you'll be like, ow. And then like all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh, it's going up to my stomach. It's going to my stomach now. This sucks.
Rise, right?
Because like a lot of my buddies have like kids and they'll be like, Uncle Dusty. And then they'll come up and like run and I'm like, oh, God.
The dog steps on your nuts all the time.
Like the jump up.
Yeah,
the paw.
Or if they just jump up on the bed and boom, right
and
there.
Honestly, if anybody's giving me a purple murple or a witty twister, you're getting slapped in the face these days. Like you could be like, hey bro. I'm just right across your face, and that merits it if you're a male.
Yeah, who's still doing that as an adult, though?
Someone that's going to get slapped in the effing face if they're a male and does it to me. I don't care if it's Travis Kelce. I'm going to get beat up. But
if anybody does any of that to you, you're probably going to slap somebody.
Gross,
wet willy is disgusting.
Absolutely.
So gross.
It's been in your mouth, and then you stick it into my ear.
And where's that finger been?
And then like the cold and the
the whole thing is
saliva.
Yeah, it's
and
like
then you have
real,
that like, and that's what's weird is like when stuff gets it. Yeah, it's gross.
Oh yeah, because it is a soaker going in your ear, man. Like that thing is dripping.
They do that at like BYU.
That's right, soaking. Yeah.
God, that's
every once in a while. I'll say to my wife, "You want to go soak?"
God, wet willy. Ugh. You got to really hate somebody to give them a wet willy. Like, you got to be mad at that person or just absolutely a Richard.
So the wet willy is you'd rather have
number
the other
one,
two. Yeah.
because the other ones don't involve moisture from the mouth.
Yeah.
Although a purple nurple, man.
Do you remember this?
I think a nut tap hurts, man.
I mean, that
like
hurts.
just a little right there.
Yeah, but it's the delay.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm fine.
30 minutes later, you're like, oh my God.
What about the towel whip? The pop of the towel on like a calf.
Curl it, get it wet at the end. Bang.
When was the last time you whipped somebody with a towel?
Shoot, restaurant
high school
days,
probably.
So like 7 months
really?
ago.
Okay.
Oh, that happens all the time in the
sense.
restaurant.
Yeah.
You'd see like a linen hit the ground, and all of a sudden you'd have to like be on a swivel, man, because there's like 3 people in the restaurant industry that can absolutely towel whip, and some of those guys get those quat towel buckets that are always just wet, and they'll pull it out, strain it, and just out of nowhere you hear that pop. And you're like, oh, God. I mean, you'll have Tourette's immediately when you get hit with a towel. It sucks. My dad was good at it, too, and I hated it.
That was like high school and, stuff like that where, you'd be after football practice or whatever, get out of the shower, just stay there, whip you with a towel. And like, what are you doing? But that's
kind
of what we did.
That was it?
Script for the day. Dusty's going to walk up to the first tee, shank his drive. We'll finish the hole with a double bogey. We'll be struggling with the putt. Yeah. More than likely, if I just break 100 today, I'm good. Somebody says there's a D twister. Who's doing that, dude?
Whoa.
Yeah. You just grab that thing by the nose and turning it clockwise? Oh. Somebody did say stepping on a Lego is worse. No doubt.
Yeah.
No
or a dog
doubt.
bone, too.
Or like when your little like loose graveled like foundation rocks get loose, you like forgot your wallet in the car, you run out there real quick, bang.
Right in the middle.
Oh, God, you'll kick a hole in your garage. Yes. Ring apps are great for those nowadays. Because you can see people's like raw reaction when they step on one.
Yeah.
I've been caught on those before.
Are
when I
you
did
like
that.
one of those like neighborhood watch guys that gets on your neighborhood Facebook and Ring page and watches what's going on in the neighborhood? Okay.
No. I don't have a ring, but like I've had people in life that have.
Charged.
We had like I think my ex had one, and I stepped on one of the rocks out by her house, and like I didn't know that I was on it, and I was like trying not to cuss loud, and I was like, "Son of a sissy space sack" or something like that, and it was like she saved it and sent it to her whole family. It's like great, yeah,
get exposed.
Yeah, somebody's saying the nut tap is the worst one. When you get it right on, you all of a sudden feel a shoot up into your kidney. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's like you know it's coming. It's like what do they call that when you take you take something and it happens later? I forget. It's like a delay effect or a I don't know. I forget what it's called, but they have like medicine like that. That's like a later, like it's like a time delay.
Yeah.
Or a
time release.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
like you're talking about like the allergy medicine that says time release capsule.
Yeah,
on
like
it?
you take it. It's like in 45 minutes you're gonna need to be somewhere quiet because
Yeah.
you're gonna pass out. Like that's what it is. Like a nut tap is a time release pain. You feel the initial flick, and then all of a sudden it's like, why am I going to puke?
Yeah. No, I mean, if you get hit down there, that could last for days where you're still feeling that pain, man. I mean, ask somebody who's caught and had a ball bounce up there because nobody wears a cup.
No.
Somebody says, I bet Bob Talwip's dudes at the J in the locker room.
Oh, God, no.
Frank, put some underwear on.
I mean, that there is that,
Yeah. We're tired of seeing your snail shell over here.
This guy said we had towel fights in the Marine Corps. People would break skin. Ooh.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, that would get for real.
Yeah.
Dusty, you're giving me PTSD, the wet dish towel snap. I'm telling you, man, and you hear that, it's like that Bone Thugs and Harmony song, Ghetto Cowboy. You better count your money. Like, that's what you heard. And when you heard that, you rolled your silverware that much faster. Because you know Chad, that nobody liked, that thought he was cool,
And
that thought
that's
he was
his real
still a
name.
senior. It was. He'd come around the corner, and he's whipping someone's
Did
ass.
anybody ever punch him in the face?
Should have.
Seriously, like if somebody does that in the place of business,
yeah.
What's worse, stepping on a Lego or stubbing your toe?
Stepping on a leg.
I think stub and toe, man.
I mean, I
Hitting
do
your
it.
funny bone sucks too.
Yes.
I did it yesterday. I stubbed my toe on the door.
Ooh, that's it.
And I mean, it was a funky butt loving. And that's a drop from Rookie of the Year. He just say funky butt loving? Yeah. Oof. So, this is a bad one. Cracking your shin on a trailer hitch ball.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Cracking your shin on anything is brutal pain.
That's a terrible one.
Yeah.
Bruised for weeks.
I mean,
and in pain for months.
you don't walk for 5 minutes.
I've hit like the chair outside when I'm out there at night with the dog and there's no light on or whatever. I've walked into like the wrought iron chair that we have. Oh, God.
I'm with this person from the night went through. I'm still mind blown about the D twist. Like, who's that
doing
evil
that?
in life that just comes up and grabs you by the nose?
Like, and how is that guy not dead?
Yeah, it ain't no bop it. You don't twist it, pull it, snap it.
Exactly.
How has nobody killed that man?
Oh, God, smacking your shin on a trailer hitch is nuts. Or on the golf course, every once in a while, my putter will be like, I'll just be like kind of lightly swinging it, ball of the ankle.
Oh, that hurts too.
Yep. Yeah, it makes you want to punch the marshal. How you guys playing today? Come here, buddy.
Dude, it's muddy, and it's the first time I've played in 6 months. How do you think I'm playing, Jim?
Oh, yeah. Gotcha, Jim.
Keep it moving.
I always hit my shin on the dashboard of my car. Oh, do you remember? I don't know how. You might have this when you get in, like bang. You know?
Oh, okay.
Did you have the desk in school that had the metal crate underneath it?
Yeah.
And every once in a while, boom, Achilles on that.
100%.
Oh, That was a tough one.
Those desks at school were the worst.
They were terrible.
Good to crack your back, though, because you could push back and
You crack your back
Yeah,
on it?
yeah.
Most of them were built for right-handed people, and you're left-handed. It's very hard to sit in a lot of those discs.
I remember that. I remember having a friend who was left-handed. He was like, dude, this sucks.
Yeah, you're like reaching over yourself or whatever. Like, try to drive your car with the left hand and do everything left hand. Like, it's terrible. You couldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm just mind blown that people are giving D twisters. Like, that's not even sexy. Like, I'm on the couch by choice if that happened to me before Tuesday. Look at this, honey. Nope. I'm getting the air mattress out. You can just leave it alone. Now we're just getting all sorts of pains that piss people off.
Oh, my God. Listen to this story from TMZ.
I don't know if I want to. Go ahead.
A couple bound for their dream Italian vacation experienced the flight of their nightmares when they were forced to sit next to a dead body for 4 hours with no option to change their seats.
Is this Delta?
No, Qatar Airlines. Mitchell Ring and Jennifer Collin were on their way from Melbourne, Australia to Venice, Italy, when a woman collapsed in the aisle next to them and died mid-flight. In an interview with Australia's A Current Affair, good to know that's still going, the upset couple said the deceased woman was placed next to them with a blanket over her body, and they were not given an option to change their seats for the remainder of that flight. I'm sure because the flight was full. But, like, what do you do with a dead body on a plane? What do you
Mid-flight.
Like, yeah, somebody dies mid-flight. What are you supposed to do with that body? Put them in the toilet? Like, add to this thing, strap them to the top of the plane?
Just don't forget about her.
Yeah, land as quickly as you can.
According to the
4
International
hours
Air
next to it.
Transport Association, deceased person should be placed in a seat with few other passengers nearby and covered with a body bag or blanket. They were clearly shaken up, but they did enjoy their time in Italy the best they could.
No, it doesn't say that.
Yes, it does. Mitchell and Jennifer
Come
were
on,
clearly
man.
shaken up, but they say they are trying to enjoy their time in Italy as best they can.
Jeez. I'm glad. I'm really glad.
They've not been contacted by the airline so far. What is the airline going to say? Well, it's not their fault Peggy died.
On the way home. Ma'am, would you like any peanuts? Or I guess she's just asleep.
Ma'am! Yeah. Oh, boy, I think
Man, she's
dead.
cold. Get her a blanket.
Yeah, warm her up.
Give her a D twist. See if she'll wake up to that. She's still out.
Hey, lady, move. I got to go pee. It's a 12-hour flight. I got to pee.
This freaking lady next to me is rude as hell. Doesn't even respond.
Like this
Kept her
woman-
legs in
yeah.
the aisle, stiff as a board.
Just lying here like it's her own like a casket. Oh, my God, she's dead. Like, what do you do? Put her in the jump seat?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
What if she died in the bathroom? You better be dead in there. Been in there 3 hours.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Shoot.
today in 1990 was the day they outlawed smoking on planes, okay? I just saw that stat pop up. Were you ever old enough to be on a... You guys probably obviously were.
I was not. My grandmother was a smoker, and every time we flew, she had to be off immediately. It was just dart.
Oh, my God. But they allowed
Winston Light 100s.
They allowed the pilots to still smoke because they were afraid that the nicotine withdrawal would make them crash the plane.
Oh, my gosh.
Did you consider Brett for Miller?
Did Will Chamberlain or Danny Manning, have they reached out to Wiggins?
think I'm a damn fool? And also just wanted to double check that Dan Kilgore is going to practice today.
I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Clark put Edna on top of the roof of the car. Coming up on the other side, it's 9 o'clock. Wait to start pinch cut here on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, it's Rex here with RexBuysKC.com, your local KC home buyer. If you own a property in the Kansas City or surrounding area and want to sell it fast and at a fair price, write this number down, 816-330-6000. I'm a private real estate investor, not some hedge fund or large national chain. My family and I live right here in KC. I can pay cash and close on your timeline, even in as little as 3 days. Here at RexBuysKC.com, we're improving Kansas City one house at a time. I buy inherited houses, vacant houses, foreclosure houses, behind in payment houses, my tenant won't pay the rent houses, and properties that need complete rehabs. Do you own a house that's trashed and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at this number, 816-330-6000. That's 816-330-6000. Or go to RexBuysKC.com. That's RexBuysKC.com. And I look forward to working with you.
Basketball fans, don't miss the MIAA Basketball Championships March 5th through 9th at Municipal Auditorium. 18 games over 5 days, the nation's best small college basketball tournament will feature some of the nation's best Division II teams. Get your tickets now through Ticketmaster and visit odyssey.com/965thefan/events February 20th through 24th to register to win free tickets. MIAA Madness March 5th through 9th. Bring your A game.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Right now, get up to a $15 gift card after rebate when you purchase select Superstart batteries exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Northland 29 northbound at the I-35 merge. Left lane is blocked with construction. Things are slow at the merge and stay slow up to North Oak Traffic Way. 35 southbound slow on that ramp, transitioning on 229 northbound. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Diving right back into it on a Tuesday. Can't wait. 5 hours away from golf still.
It's a whole day.
I'm sorry, 4 hours. 4.5 hours. First golf of the season, February 25th. Can't wait.
Is this the earliest you've been out?
I'm trying to think. I mean, there's been times in the past where I played at like January.
Yeah, like there was like a warm day and it hadn't snowed and whatnot.
I was a novice golfer then, so like that was more of like I just wanted to get out, and then you find out like all the like weekend warriors and everybody gets out. Like I'm sure it'll still be busier than I expect today.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because like yesterday, it was like
A lot of people working from home these days, Dusty.
and a lot of people have new vacation days, and it's going to be 65 degrees today.
I got the spring flu.
Yeah. Can you do a Zoom meeting then at 10 o'clock? Hey, put the backdrop up behind me.
Yeah.
But no, it is Tuesday, so we can do start, bench, cut, which is.
Here's Fescoe, Dusty, and Mac with this week's edition of Start, Bench, Cut.
Brought to you by Jay's Southland Tow Service text line.
Good folks over at Jay's Southland Tow. My buddy ran out of gas the other day. He goes, give me that number. I got to call him now. So I did. Call Jay's Southland Tow Service. They're there for everything.
That's right. We start off with spring training, training camp, or winter league.
Winter league meaning the NBA or NHL?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to start spring training. I'm going to bench winter league, and I'm going to cut training camp.
Yeah, I'll cut training camp, I'll bench spring training, and I'll start winter league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to start training camp, bench spring training, and cut winter league.
Look at you.
Contradicting
Wow.
Dusty.
Wow.
But to me, spring training is too long, and it doesn't tell me anything.
I just love going to games and watching them on TV. I could if spring training baseball was year round, I'd be happy. Noon, 2 in the afternoon, perfect timing.
Very chill, laid back.
Yeah,
These teams suck today. Call it a tie, 1-1.
that's right.
Yep.
And that's the other thing. We're good. We got enough
Yeah.
work in today. We'll see you later.
Yeah, I mean, like training camp, though, it's just kind of nice because you've gone through the dog days of summer. You're kind of almost through it. It's like I guess it's the middle of the dog days of summer. It's like July, into July, early August. But you know that the most entertaining sport is coming. Whereas, like, it's kind of interesting. Whereas spring training baseball, I'm like, I don't really care to see, like, Frank Underwood playing shortstop with the
Off
number
of Frank's
91.
ass.
Yeah.
Frank Underwood can glove it, man.
Brian
How does
O'Keefe.
Nicky Lopez still have a job in Major League Baseball? Well, he is with the Cubs.
Well,
right
he
now,
hustles.
but-
He's the first guy out and the last guy to leave.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Pullover, quarter zip, or the zip up?
The quarter zip or the pullover is a start for me, and the zip up is a cut.
Yeah, I'll cut the zip up, I think. Quarter zip start all the way.
Are
pullover
people still
bench.
rocking pullovers?
Like when you say pullover, you talking about a hoodie?
That's a crew neck.
Oh, this is a crew neck.
Like what do you consider a pullover? I
Oh,
consider
like
like a hoodie.
Yeah, like a hoodie.
Yeah, I wear
guess-
hoodies all
okay,
the
so maybe
time,
we should
yeah.
say hoodie,
Yeah, hoodie.
quarter zip, and then a zip up's from like
The bottom all the way
Bottom
up.
all the way
yeah.
up,
So
yeah.
I would go hoodie, quarter zip, zip up.
Oh, I go quarter zip and cut everything else.
Yeah, hoodie, quarter zip, zip up. Yep. I think
I'm
so.
more of a crew neck guy than a hoodie guy.
I'm not.
Do you
I
use the
obviously
hood a
like
lot?
both. I'm wearing a crew neck now. I didn't
No, you
realize.
just wear Chiefs clothes. Like you need to have your wife take you shopping.
It's time to grow up and get some adult
I've
clothes.
got a lot
No,
of clothes.
it
I
is,
just don't
yeah.
wear them.
Oh,
Today's
okay.
outfit is Chiefs sweatshirt and house slippers.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like vaguely saw like these black shoes you're wearing. Why are you
Hey,
wearing
man.
bedroom slippers
Hey,
today?
dude, live your life, dude.
Shoes were dirty.
He had
Couldn't find them.
Shoes were dirty and couldn't find them. So now, as a father, I'm going, were they dirty or could you not find them?
The shoes that I usually wear were dirty. I didn't want to go back out and get the other 3 pairs of shoes that I have. My wife was sleeping, my fiance, whatever you may have you.
Fiancé.
And so then I left with my house shoes on.
I like it.
I mean, it's like my children wearing their Uggs out in the snow and then
You guys saw
ruining
me
them.
Super Bowl week. How much Chief stuff did I wear? I wore the least Chief stuff out of any of us. I was polo,
I
nice
really didn't
pants,
notice.
shoes.
Yeah.
I know. I was running around.
I was told to wear Chiefs stuff.
Yeah, I had Chiefs polo. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Should have worn it during the game. See how that walk home to our
Oh,
hotel
gosh.
would have been.
Scarier.
Yeah.
Scarier
It was
than it
already
already
scary.
was.
Eagle fans.
Start bench cut, the tater tot, the French fry, or the hash brown.
I'm going to start the tot, bench the fry, cut the hash brown.
Dusty?
I'm going to start the hash brown, bench the tot, cut the fry.
I mean, there's
Wow,
so many
cut the fry.
variations of everything, though.
Yeah.
You know, like
Not
what
really
kind
a
of
tater
fry?
tot.
Well, the tater tot, you can get the regular, like, tater tots, or you can get, like, places make the homemade tater tots now, or they, you know, they're, I don't know, what artisan, if that's the word to use for them, you know, homemade
Russet
tater tots. They shave the potato, and so you got that. Hash brown could be a McDonald's hash brown. It could be the shredded hash browns. It could be, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
fry, tot, hash brown.
I just don't think I've ever had a bad hash brown.
Have you had bad tots or bad fries?
I've had bad fries, for sure. I think wedge fries, potato, like steak fries. Those are trash.
Yeah, I'm not into those either. Yeah.
No, I want a crispy, thin fry, or a curly fry, or a crinkle, or a waffle.
There you go. I'll take them all, please.
Opening day, the Masters, or free agency opening?
Opening day, free agency, the Masters for me.
Free agency of the NFL?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's worth
All
asking.
in the same sort of season.
I was going to say, because, the NBA free agency beats any of this. So I'll go Masters, free agency, and then opening day.
Ooh, look at you starting the Masters.
I love the Masters.
Starting the Masters, benching opening day, cutting free agency. Because free agency is like really electric for like the first 3 hours. Or the other thing is, you already know where they're going, but they can't officially sign yet because it's not open. So it's kind of like diluted.
But see, that's what's great about the NBA and NFL free agency. It starts and it's over before you go to bed. Baseball, on the other hand, it's still happening. And teams are playing fake games.
Here's one from the text line. You can get involved too, text line, 913-586-7965. Start, bench, cut. Stepping on a Lego, stepping in dog crap, stepping in a puddle of water.
I'm going to start the dog crap. I'm going to bench the water. I'm cutting that Lego.
If I'm stepping in the puddle with like socks on, that's annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's tough.
Like when your feet get a little wet.
I will have 2 pairs of socks on today, and I will have an extra pair of socks in my golf bag.
Will you wear rubbers over your shoes to protect them even more?
No. But yeah, I mean, stepping on a Lego is the worst. I mean, start that. I mean, though, is the dog poop wet? Like, if it's a sloppy poo?
Oh, the poop lately is just all frozen out
hard.
there. Ugh.
Trapped in a mall for 24 hours. Start, bench, cut. With these animals. Tiger, gorilla, king cobra. I mean, I cannot be anywhere with snakes.
It's definitely the safest option.
Yeah, the king cobra you could probably hide a little bit easier from. The other two are very violent animals.
I mean, the gorilla is going to end your life very quickly.
Very fast.
The tiger is going to bite your head off.
Right.
And the king cobra is going to bite you, and then you're going to die a slow death.
Yeah, but at least you could, like, maybe get into an elevator and hide from the king
I could
cobra.
live.
Yeah, like I could find a way to live with the king cobra there. The other two, no chance.
Somebody from the text line said, quote, "My wife and my fiance were sleeping. Hell yeah, brother." Oh,
whatever.
Gosh. YOLO. Mac wearing house shoes. You got to start the tot, Dustman.
Is that Binkley?
I don't know. Stadium food, bar food, fast food.
And go bar food, stadium food, fast food.
I need those Ben Maller chicken fingers from the landing from our guy Maloney. Yes. I've been craving those, dude. I'm not even kidding, because I was up in Brookfield this past weekend.
Yep.
Went through Liberty.
Why didn't you stop at the landing?
My buddy, it was like 10 a.m. Are they open early? Do they do breakfast?
Yeah, no, but on the way home.
So, like, well, that's what I'm saying, on the way home.
Oh, on the way home.
Yeah, it was 10 a.m. So, like, my buddy goes, "Isn't that where the landing is?" And he goes, and he has this, like, soft voice. He goes, "Are those chicken strips really that good?" I was like, "Yes, dude." I was like, "They're amazing.
They're really good."
He's like, "What about those grilled one Bob talks about?" I'm like, "They're good too, dude."
Really good, yeah.
I like them more.
Maloney and my new name, Dusty Snow. I'll have to show you a text.
The grilled ones are legit.
I almost want to turn them into a sandwich, which defeats the purpose, but, like,
I see what you're saying, but like that dry rub that they use on those is tremendous.
Do a little, yeah. And then the last one, 70s, 80s, 90s, weather-wise.
That order.
Yep.
Start 70s,
Perfect.
bench 80s, cut 90s.
Start 90s, bench 80s, cut 70s.
I like pool. You like it really hot?
I like the summer.
That's true. Pool.
I'm a lake lord.
But you can do that in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, but
the
it's
90s,
cool.
a lot of time, you're like, got to stay inside. A little hot out there.
Yeah. Coming up on the other side, we get into some more Royals talk here on 96.5 The Fan. Plus, we get back to the one word that describes Jack Caglione. What say you? Text line 913-586-7965. Your home for Kansas City Sports.
Fescoe and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965, Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Oh,
Old Spice Swagger Body Wash will make you the MVP of freshness and confidence. With its irresistible scent, it will transform your shower experience, leaving you feeling fresh on and off the field. Pair it with Old Spice Swagger Deodorant, the #1 aluminum-free brand that keeps you feeling like a Super Bowl champion 24/7 when used daily. But don't wait. This dynamic duo is available at Costco for a limited time only. Old Spice, official deodorant partner of the NFL and Super Bowl 59, where freshness meets football greatness.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
What would you do if you could go back in time with the tap of a button?
Watch the ancient Egyptians build the pyramids?
How'd they do it?
Buy enough Bitcoin to purchase your very own private island.
Or maybe just skip the joke that flopped at the holiday party.
Unfortunately, we haven't figured out how to rewind time. But you can rewind live shows with the free Odyssey app.
Never miss your favorite sports talk again. To get started, download Odyssey and search for your station.
Men, this is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and you've heard me talk a lot about how treating low testosterone can improve your sleep, your workouts, your energy levels, and more. But today I want to talk to you about your sex drive, because low testosterone can have a significant impact on your desire for intimacy. It can even be a factor in erectile dysfunction, and if you're in a relationship or wanting to be in a relationship, a low sex drive could really be a problem. The good news is that if you're like most guys, treating your low testosterone could really change the way you feel about sex, giving you back the flame and desire that is so important when you love someone. So if you're feeling sluggish and tired, if you're not sleeping well, if your workouts aren't that great, and most of all, if your sex drive is more like a putt, make an appointment at Heartland Men's Health and have your testosterone levels checked. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Today, expect sunny skies with a high of 65.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Robert Half's recruiting professionals use their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. Learn more at roberthalf.com/talent today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
So you'll be in Arizona Friday. I need you to do me a favor. I don't know how close you will be to Sedona.
Not close, but I am going to Sedona in March, so I can take care of that.
So the city of Sedona, Arizona has placed restrictions on this McDonald's because they feared that the gold and yellow color of the arches would interfere with the city's natural beauty, so they did it turquoise.
That's cool. Yeah.
I'm going to see if that's true.
Yeah.
What is true is the promotions we can give you for our fellas here at the station. Coming up at 10:30, Jack Caglione joins Cody and Gold. 12:30, the GM, Brett Veach, joins their show. And then on the afternoon show, Big Red, Andy Reid, the Andy Reid, will be on Carrington and Rob's show that they call The Drive here at 96.5 The Fan. We say we're the home for Kansas City sports. That's why we say it, because we mean it. You get the future, the best GM in football, and the best head coach in football all in one station today. You don't even need to change your radio. And then you can go tell people that, this show exists too.
Yeah. And then Bob and Dusty.
And then there's Maud.
Yeah. It's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
And then those 2 idiots in the morning. What did you get? Well, we made you laugh with
The puck is dropped and it's 4-0. The opening period. And Razor just took another one. And
Razor just took another one.
Man's name is Razor.
Out very quickly. That was close to the eye.
Oh, just no comprehension that he's live on the mic.
Him
and Mac have a lot in common.
But it is Canada. They may have different rules up there, right?
So that's Jack Caglione's home run from the other day. What's one word that describes Jack Caglione to you?
I think exciting comes to mind for me. Exciting. I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
I don't hate that. Because it's not, I like, it's not underselling it and it's not overselling it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm excited about it.
Because, fascinating would be like, well, that's, yeah. But excited because of what you've seen, what you've heard, what you've done.
But also it's baseball, and so many of these guys never realize that potential. What is your expectation for Jack Caglione too? That has to be the other. If he's Eric Hosmer, is that good, or does he need to be better than what Eric Hosmer was?
I hope he doesn't take as long to develop as Hosmer did.
Yeah, we expected Hosmer to hit the ground running.
Yeah,
and again, Hosmer had to try to save a franchise at that point.
And Hosmer was different because he had such a long swing, it was never gonna it took so much to be perfectly right for Hosmer's swing. And Caglione going lefty on that home run the other day lets me know that he's got that quick little I don't know.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, Haas has got that long. So what should be the expectation for Jack Caglione? To me, when I start looking at expectations now for players on both sides of the parking lot, is how do you fit into helping us continue the successes that we're having here? It's not necessarily about the individual success. It's about the team success. And if he's having individual success, then that means team success will be there as well. And that's what I want to see. I just want to see the guy fit in, use the term blend. Yeah, you blend like my cousin Vinny. Just kind of blend in, into the lineup and be a guy that you can count on every time he comes to the plate, where you believe he's the type of guy that's going to get a hit, going to drive in a run when he comes to the plate.
Spicy Meatball is back because one swing, boom, that ball, she's a gone. Mm-hmm. Forget about it. One word, man. He's literally a man amongst boys.
We'll see once he starts facing some real Major League Baseball pitching, too, how things change, right? I think he's going to be good. I think, obviously, the expectation, the number 14 thing is as big as anything as to what they tell you about this kid, right? They believe he's going to be here sooner rather than later. And I think at some point, they're not going to be afraid to bring him up if they need to bring him up, which is a good thing. But the expectation level for him is to, for me, is just go out there and just be a part of the lineup that we can count on. Nothing more, nothing less.
You referenced the 14. It comes from this conversation that we had with Vern, who is our Royals insider. Don't forget, you can check out Vern's Hot Stove show every Thursday night at 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock here on 96.5 The Van. This was Vern on Caglione and what he's done for the coaches at spring so far.
Listen, it's his first big league clubhouse. The guy's been around the game long enough. He's not going to come in there and start kicking over garbage cans and telling everybody to shut up and listen to what I have to say. But listen, they gave him number 14 in his first big league camp, and Carter Jensen, another guy that hit a home run yesterday, his jersey number's in the 70s. Blake Mitchell's jersey number's in the 70s. They're not expecting Jack Caglione to be wearing those minor league uniforms for long. And it certainly looks to me as if he's well-equipped to handle it. And, credit to a guy like Vinny Pasquantino, who has really taken Jack under his wing and has showed him the ropes, not only at first base, but really throughout camp, on the backfields. You're saying, Vinny, keep a watchful eye on Jack Caglione, which, for a guy that's coming for his job, I think is pretty impressive.
I do think that's kind of nice that, you see a guy like Vinny Pasquantino who's not ego-driven to be like, no, I'm not letting this guy. And somebody said, shout out to Vinny Pasquantino because he signed his 3-year-old's baseball yesterday at spring training. So, man of the people, very, very relatable, I think Vinny is, because he's not super serious. He's not a red ass. And he just kind of, has fun in the moment. But that is kind of nice. The number 14, the expression on the face of the managers, and the fact that, you have the guy whose job it is, knowing, damn it, he's right behind me.
Yeah, he's right behind me.
He could take my job at any minute, and I could, be a dust in the wind on another team and never play in Kansas City again. But he's not worried about that. He's like, if we get this guy on our roster, the things that he could possibly do. Or if I go down again, I know for a fact this guy's going to be okay.
And if that does happen, though, that's a Wally Pipp type of situation. If if he comes up here and say Vinny goes down, which he has a history of, right? That's a concern. If he were to go down, Caglione comes up, doesn't miss a beat, it could be a Wally Pipp type of situation for Vinny Pasquantino, because Vinny Pasquantino isn't Alex Smith. He's not getting traded this offseason with an $85 million contract waiting for him, right? Vinny Pasquantino is still a very, very, very young player in Major League Baseball, a guy that doesn't have a real track record. It says more to me about Vinny Pasquantino doing this than it did Alex Smith doing something like this, because Alex kind of made his money, was going to get a nice contract. They laid out the whole plan for him. And now here's Vinny Pasquantino, who, for all intents and purposes, in a Major League Baseball career, has done nothing and is still willing to do this, knowing that this guy could potentially take his job or he could be traded or something like that. Like that's cool out of Vinny to do something like that.
Somebody says back on the one word to describe Jack Caglione, Robin, because it's Robin to Bobby Witt Jr., who's Batman.
Okay.
Which I think if you were to ask Caglione, hey, do you want to be Robin to Batman? The Batman's Bobby Witt Jr. and be like, yeah,
he'd be great.
Sign me
that,
up.
Right?
I'm the second best player versus the third best player in the entire league.
Yeah.
Caglione, the 22nd overall prospect in baseball, the number one prospect in the Royals organization. But I do think it's interesting when Vern says that about the managers having to play the poker face, right? Holy smokes, did you see that, Rusty? Did you see what he just did there? That's a 22-year-old kid, man.
Right.
And then it's like, keep it together, Q. And that's, to me, kind of like what maybe Kelsey saw, or maybe Tyreek saw, or Andy, or Nagy, and those guys were like, that kid's a rookie. He's 22 years old, coming out of Texas Tech. Yep.
Right.
And we got him on our team. But we got to start Alex. Yeah, so keep it together, guys.
Right.
Keep it together. And, like, when you think about that,
that's one of those things where they go behind closed doors like, oh, my God, did you see that? All right, let's go back out and act like nothing happened.
Okay. Everybody get on the sideline. We're running.
Yeah.
But no, it's like, and that to me is more telling than anything, because these guys see athletes all the time from when they started to where they are now, and to see it, and it automatically strikes a nerve to where it's like, holy blank, like, we got something here. Like, they know enough. Like, you've done this long enough when, like, people come in, you're like, that guy's not going to make it in radio. Like, you just kind of know. Like, right, you're just kind of like, hey, he's just kind of timid. He's kind of not really ready to do it. And then 3 months later, it's like, what happened to David? It's like, he's no longer here anymore. It's like, I figured
a lot of times it's with the sales folks. You can kind of spot them coming from a mile away. Like, okay, that's
yeah.
So I think I think when you impress your what's the word? Your peers.
Yeah.
That's when you're really impressive. It's one thing to impress you or me or or just people, but these folks that do this for the living, when you impress somebody that is your peer on that same level than you, that's when I think that you've made it and that you've kind of.
Correct.
I don't want to use the term arrived because the kid has not arrived yet, but knowing that you're different, you're special, and you have an opportunity to be something really good here. Excuse me, in Kansas City.
He's getting you choked up.
He is. Yeah.
No, I get that, because. I remember there were times, like, even in Little League sports, like, I was never, like, the greatest athlete. I was average. But, like, there were times in, like, Little League sports where, you see, like, a kid play and you're like, why is he that good?
Yeah.
Like, why is he able to do that? And it's just like, some people are different. Like, that's just the way life goes when it comes to athletic ability. Like, that's just, Little League basketball was a big one. Like, we're just like, is that kid supposed to be this good? Like, why is he just, and it'd be the explanation, like, hey, man. And then when he got on your team, it was like, oh, my God, we got Eric. Eric's a baller. It's like, okay.
I mean, you can tell, like, today, another middle school basketball game I'll be at, right? And you can just see on the floor the kids that are going to be good moving forward and the kids that are just out there having a good time, right?
Yeah.
Like, it separates itself.
No, yeah.
And to be able to see that on a baseball field, too, is different, especially at spring training where the ball carries, everybody looks good, it's hard to judge. And to actually be able to judge and see out of that guy is something that's impressive to me.
Yeah, and somebody on the text says baseball is just so much more different than other sports. Believe it or not, the mental game is way more important than the physical game.
No doubt.
Yeah, no, golf is the number one mental game. Baseball is probably 2. But the thing about baseball is
basketball's probably 3.
Yeah, just ask Simmons. Right? Like, that guy can't shoot. No, he's R.I.P.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons is literally like the definition of where mental can really Chuck Knobloch is another one as well. Couldn't throw the ball to second. Did it his whole career. Then one day just like couldn't do it. But, like, the thing about Caglione, though, is you hear him and you see him, and even Vern said, he's got this aurora about him. He walks around. He's not arrogant, but he's comfortable. He knows how to, again, playing the SEC for 4 years? Somebody said earlier on the text line, the SEC, the big baseball mecca, like the defending World Series champs, the Tennessee Volunteers, I believe. Did they win it last year, Mac? Was that your squad
Tennessee
that won it?
won, yeah.
Yeah, and so, like, He's had that experience. He's played in the Southeastern Conference. I get it. It's not the major leagues. It's not the 3-deck stadiums. But again, like, he's got more under his belt than maybe a 19-year-old kid does, like a Jackson Holiday.
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference.
We were talking about it earlier about the SEC and what that kind of comps to in baseball. And I got a text from somebody in the game. They said the SEC, I said it was AA. They said it's essentially high A baseball, right? So that's like your lower level minor league. And they say most of the kids that play in the SEC never get out of A ball. So, the fact that, Caglione is fast tracked, he is a different breed. As good as the SEC is, a lot of those kids never make it to AA or AAA or the big leagues.
Right.
And we got this kid that I use the term fast track because I do believe at some point he will be up at the big league club this year. I don't want him to be, but injuries happen, things go. You know, there's always a backup plan, and I think he's part of the backup plan, right? Like if something goes wrong, it ain't outside the organization. It's like, all right, let's bring the young kid up and see
Which
what he
is
can do.
wild that he's a backup plan. In 2026, he'll be the plan. Like, it'll be him.
But next year you're going into this, into 2026. You're going to have to make some moves potentially this offseason.
Yeah, and we can get to that when it happens. But somebody asked on the text line, like, is he getting a look at left field? If not, why? Because right now it belongs to MJ, and right field belongs to Hunter Renfroe, and center field is Kyle Isbell.
Mm-hmm.
And they're somehow working India into something out there as well. But I do think the future of Caglione could be right field, extremely well above average arm. Obviously drafted as a dual player, could pitch and hit. Pitching, I think, is slowly going to be like drifted away. I think they're going to give up on that eventually. But if you can turn that arm into like what you did with Rick Ankiel, but like on steroids, right? Like,
well, we can't use that term in baseball.
Yeah, elevated Rick Ankiel.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Rick Ankiel had a hose, but he was another mental guy that lost it because Tony La Russa ruined his career as a pitcher. And then you put him in right field, has a great bat. All of a sudden, like, you try to round second, here's Caglione from the warning track, hose to third, and then the very next inning, piss missile to right center.
And that's the mental side of the game right there, because as soon as you said La Russa ruined his career as a pitcher, I'm like, no, he didn't. The guy ruined it himself. I mean,
sure,
that's
but he left him
you.
out there and could have pulled him a lot quicker than he did and just kept trying to do it. Like that was the Matheny mentality, who I believe was probably catching at the time.
Maybe,
and it was like, hey, keep going, fight yourself out. Sometimes it's like, hey, pull him out. Like, get him over there. Like, let him know. Like, it ain't going to always be like this. But La Russa just kept him out there.
Yeah, but eventually, if you want to have that big league career, you got to fight through that yourself, too, and do what's necessary to kind of get over that kind of stuff. But a lot of big league players can't, because most of these big league ball players that get up to the big league level have had it easy their entire career. They've just been better than everybody
Look at
else.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, exactly.
Never lost.
Never lost.
Went to the NFL.
And then went to the NFL and gets his brains beat in, right? But that's what happens in these sports, and baseball more so than anything, because for your whole life you're just better, and you can, I hate to use the term bully, but you can kind of just bully everybody else because you're better than everybody else. And then you get bullied back and you don't know how to respond. Kind of like the Chiefs in that Super Bowl, right? They got bullied right away and they didn't have any response. They were shell-shocked in that game. That happens to a lot of baseball players where it's easy for them. They're the best athlete on the field, and then they get to the big leagues and they're an athlete on the field, and they're getting bullied and they don't know how to respond back, and that's why they flame out.
Speaking of getting bullied, I don't know if I'm getting bullied by the 913. Is golf a sport or a hobby/leisure? I had a debate with my friend for years on
What is this, 1985 Sports Talk Radio? I mean,
you really don't think golf's a sport? Like, put a 7-iron in your hand, see if you can hit it.
You into Mount Rushmore's next, or
no? So the other day, someone was talking about how they enjoy the combine more than the start of the season for baseball, and that how can you be excited for the baseball in this town because the Royals did nothing in the offseason to prove to you they could be a team that could compete. You found the opposite of that comment.
I love like grades for I love like looking at grades, right? They're fun. Not that they mean anything, but I always like to look and see what the perception is, because it kind of tells you what people are thinking about, your team or your player or whatever the case may be. We all want to be loved. And so the score.com, I believe they're out of Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had their list of off-season greats for all these teams. And I think we took a text yesterday that you read about people complaining the Royals did nothing this offseason.
It was, how do you expect them to compete when they didn't do anything in the offseason?
Right. Okay, fine. They didn't do anything. Well,
and the team last year went 86.
According to an international website, right? They view this internationally. B+ is what they gave the Royals for an offseason this year. A B+. And so that's a really good grade, right? It's a really, really, really nice grade. They got a leadoff hitter. You got a player that can play multiple positions. You got another outfielder. You re-signed Cole Reagans. I mean, you did some bullpen work. Yeah, you had a nice offseason, right?
You drafted Caglione.
Yeah, but that wasn't the offseason,
Okay.
you know that and who the hell knows what he's going to be, right? So I mean, we're talking just kind of that offseason stuff. They had a great offseason, comparatively speaking, to the rest of Major League Baseball. I don't know who you would say got an A. If you're giving the Mets an A for their offseason because they signed Juan Soto, I think that's a farcical way of looking at it because Juan Soto takes all that money. You're not allowed to fill holes everywhere else. And now they're already talking about being done for next year in free agency because of the Juan Soto addition. And if they go down in flames, it's going to be the best thing next to the Jets going down in flames that we saw in the NFL this year. So I ask you, if you don't believe that the Royals did anything like that one Eeyore said on the text line, what were you expecting the Royals to do this offseason? What was your expectation for the Royals this offseason? Because mine was to fill a couple of holes, make a trade, and get better. And I think they did that. That's kind of the way that I look at it. They got that leadoff hitter that they wanted. They got a guy that can play multiple positions in Jonathan India. They got a couple of relief pitchers on the board. They signed their alleged ace, if you want to use, Cole Reagans as the ace of this staff to a longer-term contract. They had a great offseason. So a B+ is a nice grade. What were you expecting the Royals to do this offseason if that wasn't enough?
I will say they fixed their bullpen. They added a leadoff hitter. They're still missing the bat. So they didn't get an A+. I'll give them a B-. I won't give them a B+. I'll give them a B-. I mean,
it wasn't for lack of trying.
Right. And I don't know much about Jonathan India. I didn't watch a whole lot of Cincinnati baseball last year other than like Ellie De La Cruz highlights.
Right, sure.
And
even if you were watching that stuff, you wouldn't have recognized Jonathan. Like, it wouldn't have jumped out at you. You know?
And you'd be okay, never mind. I would say you'd be surprised how many Canadian players are in the MLB. But like that's the thing that's interesting to me is like that conversation stews from somebody that didn't get what they wanted. And that's probably somebody that was like, well, I want Santander, or I want Cody Bellinger, or I want this. And like you didn't get that. So it's like, well, they didn't do anything. So what I will say, and what I mean is that, like when you look at this team, there's similarities to the way Brett Veach does it, right? How he's done in the offseason. Last year, your biggest concern was getting somebody on in front of Bobby, getting somebody to hit behind Salvador Perez, and having somebody, or corner outfielder bat, and then fixing your bullpen that was very shaky to start the season. They did two of those three things. Like when the offensive line went bad, you drafted Trey Smith, you drafted Creed Humphrey, you signed Joe Tooney, right? When your receivers were bad, you drafted Rashee Rice, then the next year you drafted Xavier Worthy. Still got to go get another receiver, but you fixed the problem that is the obvious. And with the addition of Estevez and, you bring, Irsay back, and you have this rotation that could be, Sam Long could be your next guy. You could have Alec Marsh could be that guy that develops into your seventh inning guy. I don't know.
This Kyle Wright guy who they signed last year who was coming off Tommy John,
Yeah. And so, like, the thing is like, I just don't, when you put all that in perspective, like, to me, that's a team that's realizing what their problem was, and that's a team that went to the ALDS and lost to the Yankees, right? Who ended up going to the World Series and losing to the Dodgers.
Like, if you're a Royals fan and you're saying they didn't do anything this offseason, you must not have lived through the Glass era.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Right. I mean, like, this was an act. And again, we're in a spot in baseball where there just aren't a lot of teams that want to go out there and make trades and are willing to make the big trade, to trade prospects for a big league player. It just like, it doesn't happen like we want it to in baseball anymore. And those are the facts. And so to say that they didn't do anything is one of the more ridiculous things that I've heard, because other than going to get a bat, which they tried. They offered Santander money. He took the more money in Toronto, obviously. But they were out there trying to bring that bat in. And I don't think JJ's done trying to bring that bat in. I think he's still going out there and looking around and seeing what could happen. Injuries are going to happen. Rosters are going to change. A lot's going to occur before opening day. They can still go out there and get another bat in this lineup, or guys can get better too.
And not only that, they extended Reagan's this offseason.
That's right.
So you avoid arbitration there. And then they went and brought Waka back. So, I mean, like, you have your rotation.
Yeah.
And you're adding Chris Booth
really
to
nice
that.
offseason.
Yeah.
Anybody complains.
Well, just people don't do their research. And now you have baseball season getting ready to come up. And what we do yesterday, we went from being the second team favorite odds to the fourth. Because now it's Minnesota, Cleveland, Detroit, Kansas City, and then the White Sox are plus 2,500. So, I mean, it's interesting to know that, like, it ain't just us. Like, it's Vegas. Like, they have belief that the Royals, I mean, their over-under win total is 83.5. They won 86 last year. Didn't have a bullpen for first half of the season. Now you have Lucas Irsay for the entire season.
I saw Adam Shine yesterday, hot on the Royals. The Royals!
Oh, it's coming. Once we start getting more and more into spring and people start understanding, like, what's going on, like, you will start to see Brian Kinney will start to come out. Harold Reynolds will start to say it again. Like, last year, the Royals were praised very high. They had the busiest offseason of anybody in baseball last year. And this year, they set up to go for another run again and, like, go win the Central. And I would love to see all these people, if you could be honest with yourself, all these people that are like, please talk Chiefs. I don't care. The Royals didn't do anything in the offseason. I want to talk to you in June if this team's in first place. I'd like to know what the attitude is. And again, that's fine if that's what it is. It was 1 year. Maybe you're a pump the brakes guy. Prove it to me. I'm from the show me state. I need to see more. Well, if they're in first place come June, then what's the conversation?
Well, when do you stop going into that prove it to me mode and just like sit back and enjoy what's happening like that? Because that's where I am. They're coming off a season that was really fun last year. I'm expecting them to be good this year. I'm not expecting them to take a step back. I'm not expecting them to fall on their face. History would say that. But again, so many people have changed in this organization, including the most important ownership, that I don't think they're going to allow this team to fall back on their face.
Coming up on the other side, Mac wants to talk a little Trace Smith. Bob wants to give a little bit of thanks, and I'll just stay quiet. 913-586-7965. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
I just want to say how awesome it is to have Bob Fescoe and Legend Likens on every morning to start my day. I freaking love you guys.
On your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5 The Fan.
Wouldn't you like to take a vacation from your bills? Well, you can. The new year is here. Home values are up, and you have more home equity than ever. Now is the time to put that home equity to work for you. This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. Credit card balances are at an all-time high. Why pay 25 to 30% interest to them when you could be saving thousands of dollars after a simple phone call? Golden Oak's mortgage rate is 5.25%. We have no fee to apply and no out-of-pocket cost. And if you call today, you could make no payments for 2 months. But don't wait. This rate won't last forever. Imagine how good it will feel to have those bills paid off. At Golden Oak Lending, we can make that happen in as little as 14 days. And if for any reason your loan doesn't close, we will pay for your appraisal. Call today and take advantage of our 5.25 fixed rate. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
6.19 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
What if your business could see beyond what is and into what can be? What if you could create more impact in every decision? What if you had a partner as visionary as you are? With Bank of America, you get access to our trusted experts, real-time insights, and digital tools. So whether you run a local shop or a global enterprise, you're backed by business solutions to make every move matter. What would you like the power to do? Find out how at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-285-8939. 800-285-8939. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-285-8939.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Casey's has 8 new coffee roasts that have been described as having rich aromatics that entice any palate. But, we're not sure what that means, so we just call it darn good coffee. It's not crazy. It's Casey's. Now get a small hot coffee for 99 cents. See Casey's for details.
It's February. What is more romantic than a new toilet? 2. This month we are offering buy one, get one half off a toilet replacement. Win those brownie points and call Connolly at 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com.
All right. Final segment here on Fescoe and Dusty. This is your Wednesday. Bob?
No, it's Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to skip that.
Yeah, you don't.
Tomorrow's your Thursday.
Yeah, no, it'll still be a Wednesday. You don't want to rush the. Don't get me into that mindset.
Okay.
There's nothing worse than waking up thinking it's Wednesday when it's Tuesday, or waking up and thinking it's this when it's that. If you wake up on Tuesday thinking it's Monday, that's okay. But if you wake up on Tuesday thinking it's Wednesday, it screws up the whole week. So,
speaking of today, not the week, today you will have 10:30. Jack Caglione joins Cody and Gold for real this time. 12:10. Brett Veach joins their show from the Combine, and then later on today on the drive, Andy Reid will be on with Carrington and Rob as well. So be sure to just leave it here for the rest of the day. Matt?
Oh God!
Oh, that
Yikes.
sound. My bad. Sometimes I forget where I'm at.
That came through so strong.
Ow!
It's just fingers.
Ah!
Trey Smith's going to be a Chief, huh, Mac?
Well, that's the latest report from Diana Rossini on a podcast with, what's his name? Yeah, I can't remember his name. Chase Daniel. It was with Chase Daniel. Kansas City's making it a priority to try and keep Trey Smith. Long-term deal, making every effort.
Yeah, that's of course.
And that's the thing, right? So
Yeah.
we sit here and we're like, well, of course, he's a great player, so they want him back.
Is that
That's
really
basically,
is that really a story though?
Yeah.
Everybody's going to make every effort. Like I think they want Justin Reed to come back. I know he's going to be
course.
meeting with the team soon and kind of figure out where he's going to go from here. And
I
think
Thornhill's available, man.
Yeah, right. But Dave Merritt likes him a lot, obviously, and obviously Spags is a huge fan of Justin Reed. Maybe that's a guy that ultimately comes back. I'm not counting on the Chiefs really re-signing any of their guys. If they bring Reed or Bolton or Smith back, that's great. That's wonderful. I'd love to have all of those guys back. but I kind of know where they are, financially at this point in time, and some of the other things that they need to work on, like left tackle and whatnot. But you also don't want to weaken other positions. If you've got guys in here that you're comfortable with that are good football players, you don't need to move on from Justin Reed. You don't need to move on from Nick Bolton. You don't need to move on from Trey Smith. The only thing that would cause you to move on from those guys are the financials of those deals.
Somebody said that knuckle crack sounded like a D twist.
Oh yeah, jeez.
I didn't know. Sometimes I feel bad. I didn't know. Sorry. I just forget sometimes.
If they sign Trey Smith, they'd have to do it before free agency, which Trey Smith wouldn't let happen.
Why would you if you're Trey, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Unless they just offer you something that's
great.
Yeah.
A lot of guaranteed money, good incentives. We want you to stay here. We know you'll get you a higher ceiling, but the floor is not going to get any higher than here in Kansas City. Stay here, Trey. Maybe, but that's got to happen the next, what'd you say? We've got
less than 2 weeks and 13 days from legal tampering, which is going, like, this week at the Combine, like, they're going to be looking at guys running around, but more importantly, they're going to be talking, like, I'm sure Brett and Trey's agent are going to have a nice conversation, and they're going to kind of know where they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if he gets a deal done before free agency, that's great. Fantastic. Don't have to deal with all that kind of stuff. But I think as a player, just as a human being, you owe it to yourself. Right?
Absolutely.
You got to this point. You owe it to yourself to go out there and see what you're worth on the open market. And if it comes back that it's kind of the same or maybe less than what the Chiefs are offering you, well, hey, then you sign here in Kansas City. But if I'm Trey Smith and his representative, not to tell them how to do their business, but you got this far.
Yeah.
You're willing to go just a little bit further and see, you know what? Doesn't mean just because the Bears offer you money doesn't mean you have to go there and take their money. You can always take less and stay in Kansas City or whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah, if I signed before, that would be on my mind forever, for the rest of my life. Like, damn, if I would have just waited 12 days, maybe I could have gotten $20 more million. Like, you have to give yourself that opportunity.
I think at the Combine, you'll probably have an idea of what teams are going to offer, right? Like, I know all this, nonsense and dates, and we get
and
excited
everyone's already
about that.
tampering anyway.
Yes, that's the thing.
It's legal, but it's just the Dolphins got caught.
Yeah, right. Like everybody's doing their thing. You oh, I bumped into you. What do you think about Trey Smith? It was like me in the bathroom with Sean McVay finding about the Marcus Peters trade, right? Those are how these things kind of work and whatnot. And so that's what goes on there in Indianapolis. It's all about laying the groundwork, trying to even figure out if you're on the same page. Like Brett could go to Trey Smith's agent and say, "This is what we want." And his agent could, not a chance. And okay, fine. We know we're not. We're not in the running for something like this. So no, these next couple of weeks are going to be fun. The rumors are going to be so good over the next couple of weeks, and like 1% of them will come true.
Exactly.
But they're going to be so good. That's why this is so much fun for football and basketball, because you get all these rumors for like 2 weeks basically, and then free agency happens and it's over by Thursday, and you know where everybody is. Baseball, you get rumors and then nothing happens for months, and then it's Christmas and people forget.
Oh no.
I'm starting to more and more just like not like Adam Schefter. Talk about a word salad. Has to tweet this. Titans GM Mike Berganzi has told reporters that he has received calls about the availability of the number 1 overall pick. The Titans will listen, but it's too early in the process for any decisions.
Yeah, you don't need to tweet that. That happens every year with every GM is calling each other about their picks. It's the way it works.
So,
are you telling me the guys who have the number 1 pick got a phone call from another team about a trade?
Yesterday, he tells a story, which he was the first to it, but he was like, there is a team and a petition to be signed that the tush push should be gone. Then we get a source from the damn Eagles that was told it's Green Bay, and everybody ran with it and was talking about it. And then Schefter later that night was like, a team has been, out and about trying to get rid of the tush push. Who it is, we don't know yet. Yeah, we do. There are other people that do what you do.
Oh, he's trying to still say that we don't know.
He did it last night. He was like, there's a team. And I was like, dude, it's Green Bay, man. Like, we know now.
The story got poached. It's all good,
it
man.
got poached, and you didn't get it. You have golf course managers breaking stories, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. There may not be a more
ESPN does have it, though. Packers proposed ban of tush push. GM confirms.
Yes, like we knew it, and he still was like, "Did you mean to time that article out?" Like the other thing too is like, get him a damn edit button. There's
Seriously,
like if LeBron has it, why doesn't Schefter have it? Like,
Spell check, Grammarly, anything.
Yeah, but these guys it's a drug, man. It really is.
It's okay. It's okay if like somebody else gets it before you. It's fine.
Yeah.
I promise. It's going to be great.
It's going to be outstanding.
You're still going to have 50 stories that no one else got this year, but you didn't get the tush push story?
Yeah. Oh, God.
It's a newt egg I won. I don't know. I've never made it this far.
I mean, my goodness, geez, let it go. Yeah, it is the Packers with the tush push, which is, again, the dumbest thing ever. Real quick, I want to give a shout-out to Matt Moore at Martin City Brewery. He made a sweet donation for my wife who's doing Dancing with the Stars BMA Foundation, a substantial donation. I won't say the amount on the air, but I just want to give credit to him. It's a great local business that has amazing food, amazing beers. They do great things here in Kansas City. So I just want to give him a shout-out for supporting my wife, supporting the BMA Foundation, Dancing with the Stars on June 14th. And, her goal is to raise $50,000, and she's getting closer and closer and closer. So I just want to shout out Martin City Brewery and the folks over there, Matt Moore, for making that donation and being just so community-minded and doing great things for Kansas City.
Love that place. One right by my house.
Yeah.
And then they have Station 7 as well off of 7 and Colburn. Great outdoor facility. They also have the greatest Caesar salad.
They do have a great Caesar salad.
It's the best Caesar salad I've ever had.
Okay.
If you ever want to come to my neck of the woods,
let's go.
We can go to There's also one off of 35 or 435.
Okay. There's one in Lenexa. There's one in obviously Martin City. There's one at the airport.
How I fell into their Caesar salad is I think from it's 11 to 2, or they do a lunch menu where you get an 8-inch pie and you get a salad. It's like $12.
Nice.
Dude, it's dope. A lot of times got cut from Jack Stack early, went over to Martin City, smashed.
Bang.
Greatest Caesar salad I've ever had.
Smash.
Now I just need them to put it into a wrap and add the chicken.
Yes.
And then I'm good. And
I'm sure if you ask, they will do that. Hey, would you put that salad in a wrap and throw in some? Yeah, sure.
So good. Their Caesar salad's so good.
You're right. It is. Now
It's
I'm kind of
awesome.
tasting it in my mouth.
It's great. I don't know if it's like their Caesar dressing. They put the shaved mozzarella on top, the thick ones, like the Fritz silk pie.
Oh, okay.
Chocolate shavings, but mozzarella.
Actually, it's Parmesan. But
Parmesan,
that's okay.
sorry.
You know what he's talking about. Yeah.
The white cheese that goes on the Caesar
it's
salad.
fantastic. You're right. It is good.
It's
Now,
awesome.
now I'm craving a Martin City Caesar salad.
Oh, it's great. And
I mean, that's just good local ownership and good local people, man. Matt Moore, thank you so much, my man. You're the best.
Yeah. He says again, dude, yes, they have the best Caesar salad lunch special. It's awesome. You think you're 8-inch pizza with a salad for $12?
That's plenty of food.
Boom, I'm good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The little roni, little sausage on there.
Mac probably doesn't eat crust, though, right?
I love crust.
Oh,
Theirs is super thin, so it doesn't matter. Great place. Good
Big
people.
crust guy.
Way
Big
to
crust
do
guy.
that.
Here's another good one from Pro Football Talk. Joe Shane, Giants GM. We will look under every rock to address the quarterback position.
Even Dwayne Rock Johnson?
You're looking under rocks to find a quarterback? I suggest the draft.
Welcome to the Rock. Bob just mentioned it. Go do something nice for people. You never know. It could change their day, week, their month, or their year. Month. Either way you want to look at it. It's cool to care. Stay safe. Stay kind. Shout out Martin City for what they did. Coming up next, Cody, Gold, and Drew from 10 to 2.